Yes, everyone, you know what time it is. It's your boy Jack here at the IrishHotspur, here to bring you that watch along December 26th. It is Boxing Day. It is 4 in the morning my time. It is 7:30 a.m. for Nick's time. But Sean is here. He's here midday with us, joining us. And Dave potentially could be joining us at a kickoff, like kind of a bit of a buzzer beater situation. We'll see how that works out. But everybody, do hit that like button while you're in here. We're getting kicked off on the watch alongs as we've been waiting for a very, very, very long time to see our Spurs be back. Let's get maybe some of the panel's thoughts today. Of course, we're not starting as early as we would like to, but maybe get some thoughts on the lineup here as we were kind of discussing in the back end. Start with you, Nicholas. How are we? And what are your thoughts on that lineup?
Happy holidays, Jack. Big up, Sean. Great to see you guys. Jingle bells. Arteta smells. Ten Hag looks like an egg. The Goonermobile is coming off its wheels because Romero is breaking legs.
Woohoo!
I'm excited. I'm happy
Love
to
that.
be with you guys. You know, I have a good feeling. I know the jury is kind of mixed on how we're going to do coming straight out of the World Cup on this, but I'm excited. Like a lot of people, I think it's a strong lineup, man. It's stronger than I thought it was going to be. And the big news, man, I don't care. The big news is the big man. The big man said, you want to see what my determination is and where my head is at after this World Cup? I'm going to put it on the pitch right now. I don't need an extra week vacation. I don't need any of that bullshit. I want to get back on the pitch. That's the big news for me right now, Harry Kane.
He doesn't care about vacation. He's never even heard of it, Nick. But Sean, how are we? How are we thinking about this lineup today? And it's good to have you back finally. It's been a long time. Of course, you've been with us for these friendlies, but it's not really the real thing. It's kind of like more of a taster, if you will. It's good to have actually Spurs back for once, and good to have the real game days back, Sean.
Yeah, I'm listen, like I feel like I'm a little bit nauseous, but it's not because I've overeaten too much. Well, I have overeaten. I'm festively plump and I drank a little bit too much. So that kind of feeling of nausea is a little bit because of what happened yesterday with the festivities, but it's also a little bit because of the nervous energy that comes when the game days are back, and they are. And I'm super excited. Look, I'm going to take what Nick said and run with it. I think that the big story is, of course, Harry Kane coming back. How does he respond? How do the fans treat him? How do the Tottenham fans treat Ivan Toney?
Yeah,
it's all going to be quite interesting. We won't be able to necessarily hear that, so I want everyone in the comments to keep us abreast of the fan reactions. But for me, I think what's going to favour Harry Kane is you're going to have Decky on the right hand side playing alongside him, you know, and that usually good things happen when those two play together. And also, you know, if you go back to this time last year, or not this time, maybe February the 10th last year, that initial period where Decky came in, hit the ground running, guess who he had behind him on the right-hand side of the wing-back position? It was Matt Doherty, and he has come back into the team. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing how, you know, Matt Doherty, with the wind in his sails from that mid-season friendly kind of thing, 4 goals in 3 games, it's going to be interesting to see if he can kick on and get back into some level of chemistry with old Decky. It's going to be interesting at the back to see how Japhet Tanganga takes his Premier League debut I think it's his Premier League debut. And it's also Premier League debut for old Fraser Forster. So it's going to be a really exciting game. Last bit of good news is having Ivan Perisic on the left-hand side, because, you know, it doesn't really matter what's happening with the game. When you've got him at the corners or the free kicks, there's always a potential for a goal that can come out of anywhere. So as long as we're not in, you know, real trouble, even if it's 0-0 or 1-1 or whatever, with 5 minutes to go, we've still got that option. And I think good things are going to happen today, Jack.
I hope good things happen today, Sean, because I think this Brentford game is going to be a tough one. Really, honestly, like, I could take any goals, and you did mention Perisic as a bit of that set piece threat. I absolutely agree with that, and I don't really see this being an easy game for Spurs. I feel like Brentford, to me at least, they've taken a few scalps this season, actually upset a few teams. I believe even just recently, before going off to the World Cup, they upset, of course, Man City, made them drop all points, I believe, at the Etihad. They've given Man United, of course, you know, the best defeat of the season. They have had some good moments this year, Thomas Frank's Brentford, which does make me slightly, I wouldn't say slightly worried, but just makes me slightly cautious. It just makes me know that it isn't going to be an easy game. It isn't exactly going to be a rollover of a team. So we'll see how this one goes. They're going for a 3-5-2 here, everybody, as well. They're going for Christian Norgard, Vitaly Janelt, and Matthias Jensen in the middle. Of course, they don't have Christian Eriksen anymore, that kind of midfield creativity, but they kind of are making up for it with a bit more hard work Ivan Toney and Mbuemo up top, which has been a very successful combination for them. Rico Henry and Rorslev is the wingbacks. Rico Henry has had a great season, I think, so far. And then it's Ethan Pinnock, Ben Mee, and Jorgensen. Ben Mee, I think, is actually probably the guy to look out for from those set pieces because he scored against us in the past from set pieces when he was over with Burnley. I imagine he could probably do the same when he's over at Brentford. Yep. Let's get to a bit of the Harris Army here. Just say hello, everybody. Apologies that we're not starting as early as we would like to. So I'm going to kind of get through this quickly, everybody. But Art Green, the regular, Wemberley, Daniel Larson, Ellington McDonald, Tequila 316, you absolute legend, John Bamford, Tanganga in the lineup. Absolutely right. Not Sanchez. Your eyes are not deceiving you. Old school boxing fan, Mick Hermlock, Shamu Van Spurs, Welsh gal, you absolute legend, Lisa Odley, good to see you as well, Leslie Crawford, THFC Caveman, and Gene D, and he's saying 4:30 a.m. in Seattle. Kulusevski will come through and make a difference. He's the missing link. I hope Kulusevski wakes us up this morning, Gene D, with a few sexy skills on the byline, maybe a few megs, because that's exactly what I need to get these eyelids open here, everybody. If we're going to go for any sort of kind of vibes or feelings on this game, Nick, how are you feeling? Are you kind of with me where it's not going to be an easy game?
Yeah, man. It's nervous. I feel like we should have a confidence, especially in the forward line with our main three. Everybody's there. Everybody's assembled. That should give us a lot of confidence. As always, it's the back line that gives me the most nightmares. I think the real question mark right there is on the right side, man. I mean, who would have thought it right now? Tanganga is starting. Is that going to work with him and Doherty? Is Doherty going to be as savvy defensively, or is Tanganga able to watch his back? Because we know Doherty is capable of getting turned very easily, if I can put it that way. So I'm worried. I'm worried about that right hand side.
I would be worried about that right hand side because it's not really been the strongest for us going forward. Even recently, sadly, with Emerson Royale, he's kind of lost of confidence, I think, too. So it's not even been the best defensively down that right hand side. But Doherty, though, like maybe brought up by Sean earlier, could potentially, let's hope, going through that kind of renaissance that he did last season. It's very, very hopeful to be praying for that. But we can take whatever we can get at this moment in time. And I do hope that Doherty can actually replicate at least some bit of that renaissance that he did last season, because he did look like probably next to maybe Brian Hill, I thought, kind of guys, maybe one of the best players throughout this kind of these friendly games. So maybe Doherty is sort of being rewarded with that good work on the training ground and maybe also in the friendlies, because we all know that Antonio Conte loves his man Emerson Royale, and he would never ever give anyone else an opportunity unless they deserved it. So it looks like Matt Doherty deserves it this time. Look, I'm seeing the boys lining up here, getting ready to get it going here as well. But Sean, any kind of interesting thoughts or final thoughts before we get kicked off here?
Yeah, look, I take your point about defensively. Is Tanganga, how's he going to settle in? How's he going to be? And what impact is his, if he has got nerves, what impact is that going to have on Doherty's ability to get forward? I think you're going to have to look for a big game from Yves Bissouma, who's going to have to get back in and tuck in and maybe hang around a little bit down that right-hand side for us to give that added protection should Matt Doherty want to get forward. On the left-hand side, of course, you're going to have to trust that, like I said earlier, that Perisic is going to come back in, not be tired, and just hit the ground running like he does, like the consummate professional that he is. And it's fantastic to see him back. It really is. Bearing in mind that he played in his last game in the World Cup just a day earlier than Romero, who isn't even back from Argentina yet. I think it's an absolute pat on the back for Ivan Perisic. But for me, looking forward from there, I think you have to look for Heung-min Son. I think right now, hi Dave, Heung-min Son needs to have a better second half of the season. He needs to step up and fill in the void, fill in the gap. And I hope that a relatively disappointing World Cup from him won't be another kind of drag down. I hope that he can use it and put it out of his mind. Now the World Cup's done. Now he can get back to business and fully focus. And hopefully the knock to his face hasn't also dented his confidence, because we're going to need this front three today. We can win this game comfortably, in my opinion, if we get the ball and get it forward and get it to our strongest areas and keep control of the ball. If we hang back too much and give the ball back and try and nick it off them, then I think we're going to be vulnerable, especially like you say, Jack, down that right-hand side. So.
Absolutely right. Dave, we'll add you in here in just a second. I just can't have an early yellow card with the scoreboard, so I got to take care of that first here. There we are, kicking off, everybody. Hopefully you can sync up with us, and then we're going to add the one and only David Harrison to the stream as well here, everybody. Nick, do you mind going full screen?
Oh, have you started already? Have you on your side? Okay,
I think so.
Shit. Oh. Needs to get a better. Annoying.
There we are.
Where's that link you sent me?
Ball back to Tanganga here. It's very, very interesting to see Tanganga in this one.
Come on, Fraser. Good first touch. Get rid of it. Lovely. How you doing, Dave? Welcome in, mate. How was your Christmas? Oh, no.
Oh, Brentford. Off of, looks like Matt Doherty for a corner. Corner already to Brentford. Dave, you're live in front of the Harris Army. You're back, baby.
Come on, we are back, baby. Happy Christmas to everybody. Hopefully you had a great day yesterday. And boys, it's good to see you. Good to see you. I got the new jersey. One of my mates gave it to me for Christmas with Sun number 7 on the back.
Ooh.
So, loving it.
Sounds like you can't be accused any longer, Dave, of having any Sun biases. You didn't get your main man Kane on the back. You got your favorite boy Sonny. Very good of you, Dave.
Yeah, he done that on purpose.
Wearing it with pride, Dave. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Corner in here for Matthias Jensen. I think he is a good corner kick taker as well. So I feel like Brentford. Ooh.
This is where they're going to cause us problems.
Exactly.
They destroyed us from corner kicks last year.
Exactly.
Remember, they done the same routine like 3 times inside the first 30 minutes.
I just think Thomas Frank, this is kind of how he's probably imagining to score one of his first goals, or if maybe the best way to kind of get rattled, you could say, or kind of rattle the likes of Spurs is doing that. Just you taking advantage of those set pieces. Exactly right.
Tanganga was an interesting inclusion. For me, it's because Sanchez didn't cover himself in any glory in the friendly.
I agree, Dave. I agree. Tanganga looked a whole lot better, and he's also rewarding, looks like, Matt Doherty instead of Emerson Royales, too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Matt Doherty's been banging in the goals. You can't really, if you're a manager, oh, my.
Oh, come on.
Is that Tanganga already? Tanganga already.
Jesus, it's a 10-yard pass. Honestly. Too much turkey for that guy yesterday.
Too much turkey for me last night as well. I went back for seconds as well. I had a turkey sandwich at about 4 hours after my dinner.
You don't want to know what I had yesterday. I had my big dinner. I had a fry up in the morning. I had fucking sandwiches last night. Sausage meat, stuffing, turkey, ham. I had about 4 bowls of trifle. Honestly, lad, I'm on the verge of a heart attack. I'll have to detox today. I'll have to have vegetable soup.
Yeah.
Oh, Doherty loses
I'm
the
not
header.
sure Oh, that could be a handball, is it? No. I'm not sure I can watch this, guys. It's I'm seeing about 1 frame every 3 seconds here.
It's working perfect for me.
Yeah, it's working perfect for me, Sean. Maybe try refreshing it.
Yeah, just try refreshing it. Do you have to constantly come out of it and back into it, or are you switching between tabs? Or
yeah?
No, I just let me see if I can do it on. Let me take it on a different browser. See what happens.
Brentford with a throw in here. It looks like they're going to go for a long throw in the box, and I expect this all day by Brentford. Bombard a box with long high balls because they know we can't deal with them.
Yeah, they're going to go for the long throw-ins like we do.
Yeah, it's the long
Jensen. I feel like they're winning every first header.
Højbjerg, Salzburg. He
Kulusevski.
probably had protein yesterday for dinner.
He had liver. Jensen thinks he's Kulusevski. Adrian Chia, big up, lads. It's match day. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Adrian. Don't spoil the script. I bet you're working hard today, my man. You're back into the grind, Adrian Chia. Working on those scripts. Big up, brother. Good to see you in here, my friend.
Big up, Adrian, you legend. I hope you had a good day yesterday, my man.
Højbjerg into Sonny.
Go on, son Aldo.
Oh. Here he is, Rico Henry.
2 foot him. I've got Antonio Conte with me today, guys. So, you know, if we need to ask him anything, just let me know.
What is that? What's that you're holding up?
I've got Antonio Conte with me today. So if you need
Oh.
it.
Do they still make those things today? Wow.
Well, apparently so, lad.
Nice.
So if we need to ask what subs he needs to make, or if you have any questions, Sean, just let me know. I'll put them down.
Relay
I'm
the
sure they
message.
used to give them away in boxes of cereal. And like, because I wanted a specific one for Teddy Sheringham or something, I'd get my mum to buy like 400 boxes of Frosties. Because they had the ones that were like the common ones that you'd always get. You'd have like 17 versions of Ledley King or whatever, and you need the Teddy Sheringham to make the system.
Oh, love that, Tanganga. Show him the floor, son.
Manhandler. It's not a very good start by Tottenham. It's all Brentford. 5 minutes, 6 minutes in, it's all bloody Brentford.
Just need to hold tight here. Ball over the top. Forster. Thank you, sir.
Keeper. Well
like
out.
a tree just roaming around.
All the branches coming off him. These long arms. I don't like that orange goalkeeper kit.
Yeah, he's looking very wired, though.
I look like a fucking highlighter in it.
Yeah. Stabilo boss.
Oh, that's poor. We tried to send it long, and they just won it very convincingly. And Boumau's in behind. Ball in, cleared away by Basuma.
Tottenham. Come on, Tottenham. Wakey!
Someone put their foot
Sonny.
Oh, fuck's sake. My God. We never do well at half 12 kickoffs. We are absolutely crap at half 12 kickoffs.
I'm pretty sure, I was saying this in the background, I'm pretty sure that Tottenham's, when the games are streamed on Amazon Prime in the UK, I'm pretty sure Tottenham have got an absolutely atrocious record.
Oh, we're like ITV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
come on, Tottenham.
Like England on ITV or BBC.
Harry Kane's asking for a handball there, ref.
Put pressure on him. Now mop that up. This is easy.
Someone get there. All right, let's chill out, boys. Let's chill out.
Oh, they're doing the press very well. Come on.
Jesus Christ, Dyer doesn't look too mobile today. He had too much of a good time with his dog and his girlfriend yesterday.
I would as well. With that girl. She's a smoking.
He didn't look too nimble there on the ball, did he? He looked very slow, very slouch. Must been up late last night.
Too many Christmas puddings for him. 58 goes one with the super chat. Big up, my man. Missed the Italian Big Sam tactics. Some people got their wish with not seeing Emerson on the team today. But I imagine that some people will still probably looking at the tactics the same. But don't read too much into it, my man. Don't read too much into it. Especially it's the first 10 minutes of the game. Brentford, they pretty much didn't have any players really in the World Cup. They've been training probably with a full squad this whole time. They've been waiting for this. They've been absolutely waiting for this. And they are at home. It's been a long time since the Premier League has returned. So I'm not too surprised they have a bit of momentum and that they started well. It's also kind of been probably more Thomas Frank's kind of style to start well.
To be honest with you, for me today, it's just all about getting the 3 points on the board. First game back after a long period of time of being away. Get the points on the board, and then after that, then I'd start looking at more performances.
Well done, Matt.
Oh, fuck. Could have gone in behind there. Oh, well done, Tanganga. Well read. Come on,
lads. I'm gonna drop out. I'll come back in at half time, okay? Because I can't see the game.
I'm sorry, Shawnee. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'll pop back in at half time or something. Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah,
I'll see you in here, my man. See you in here.
See you guys.
See you in here, Shawnee. Langley getting the nod. Salzburg got out wide to Tanganga. A lot of space down here to the right. Will they use it? He's tried to put it into Sonny. He's giving it away. It's just a shit pass. Kane picks it up, though. Son loses out. Tanganga picks it back up again. A good ball into Sonny this time by Tanganga. Out to Doherty. What can Matt Doherty do? Matt Doherty to Kulu. Back to Doherty. Can he get the cross in?
Come on, Matt. Whip it in.
It's a shit ball. No one made the run towards near post either for him. Oh, static in there. Someone's got to. All three of them bunched at the far post, you know. So one of them's got to make that run.
Tanganga here.
Jaffa cakes. Kulu.
Oh, lovely from
play by
Kulu.
Go on, Salzburg, unlucky.
Heavy touch from the Salzburg.
Good play by Kulu, though. Lovely little flick. Dyer, well read. Perisic picks that up. Look at the
Dyer's gotten a new pair of moon boots for Christmas. Sonny.
Oh, play him.
Oh, what a run, sir!
Yes! Whip out the yellow.
Oh, Dave, he got clattered there.
It's got to be a yellow, Jack. He's just took him out. He's assaulted him.
I mean,
Good
Dave,
play by Perisic. I like that. Direct, straight down the middle, straight down the throat of him.
that's just violence there, Dave. I mean, he's just got to pull out a card there. Well done by Sonny earning that free kick. Let's see if we can get actually.
Christmas if we scored a free kick, Jack.
Just even if we can get over the wall, that would be a Merry Christmas for me, Dave.
Kane's on this
And
free
it's Harry
kick.
Kane lining up over it. Yeah, let's just hope we can get it over the wall.
Sweating profusely 10 minutes in, Jack. He definitely had dinner yesterday.
I'm seeing Perisic over it too here.
Look at the way the light just glistens off Harry Kane's forehead. He can't do anything wrong. He just can't. He's such a specimen of a man. Yeah, it looks like Kane is going to hit this one. Now, after doing...
Yeah, he was taking him in the friendlies, Dave. You're right.
He's walked away now, so it's Kane, Son, and Perisic. Could be Perisic here the way he's warming up. No, it's always Harry off the wall, gone out for a corner kick. Come on, Tottenham. We score from corners. Let's go. It's better.
Good to see you in the chat, though, Shawnee.
Big old Shawnee.
Sorry that happened, brother.
6 career goals on Boxing Day.
Thanks for getting me started as well, Shawnee. Thanks for helping out this morning too, brother. And we'll get you on a halftime.
Yeah, big up, Shawnee and Nick. If you get a different streaming, you can sync up Shawnee come back in, my man. It's the corner kick. It's a shit corner to the near post. It's along the ground as well. It's a real the Celso corner that was. Perisic holding on to the ball till he gets over to the other side. Doherty on the throw-in to Bissouma, back to Doherty, into Kulu. Gives away the ball. Oh my God, what is that by Doherty? That's just panic stations. Even look at Perisic. He's just giving out to him. He's like, what are you doing, clown? Do you not see him there? Perisic, like, what are you doing? It's always Perisic getting onto Doherty.
Oh, Kane, sir!
Oh, no. Gee, for what? For what?
Wait,
oh my God.
I'm just confused. You're not even allowed to dink it over anybody's head anymore.
Starting already.
Big up, El Jefe. Hope you had a good one as well, my friend.
Big up, everybody. I hope everybody out there had a good Christmas.
Good to see you in the chat, Mark.
Back in, getting behind the Spurs nice and early. Just
Big
Jack,
up,
what?
Carl
5 a.m. where you are?
It's currently 4:30. I'm at 4:45.
Jack's rolling over from Christmas Day, legend.
Wolves Finland with a super chat here. Big up, Wolves Finland. Well won by Tanganga there. Kulusevski.
They're just assaulting him. There's 3 men on him every time he touches the ball. Big up, Wolves Finland. Hope you had a good one, my man. Who are you playing today? Let us know. He says,
yeah, especially Lopetegui. Lopetegui, kind of big debut today for you.
Yeah, big debut. Big debut for you today. Be interested to see what he can do. He says, that's enough.
And Mbumo here.
Harry Kane free kicks. Is Conte.
Oh, no. Fuck.
Fuck! Jesus. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. Who's at fault here?
Just broke on us through Mbumo, and then Mbumo just chipped it over the top to the back post. And it was wide
Everyone
open for
walking
them in the
around with
back
their heads
post.
down. No, everyone just walking around with their heads down. Who's fucking bollocking people? Who loses that? Son loses
Over
that.
the top. One by
Tanganga loses.
Tanganga, or one by Tony. Over the top to Mbumo.
Dyer, engage him. Why is he backing?
Initial
Dyer
shot
just
from
backs.
Janssen. Poor save from Forster.
4 or 5 players. Son loses it. Tanganga misses the header. Dyer backs off and doesn't put in a challenge. And he's
Oh, ricochets.
Fraser Forster doesn't cover himself in glory either.
It takes a really nasty deflection here, actually. Off a long lay. Then it bounces off of Forster after the deflection into Janelt.
Jesus Christ. Tanganga's got to do better in the air. Son has to learn to hold on to the ball. It's a common team of him giving it away all the time. And then Dyer just backs off. There you are. Put the cross in. Fucking engage him. How many times do I have to tell that idiot? Clown. Jesus. Pudding. He's such a pudding.
Then me.
Oh, come on.
Brentford, it's just been all Brentford for the 16 minutes so far. Wolves, Finland, that's enough. I had to get enough Harry Kane free kicks. Is Conte the weak manager, even if he can't tell Kane to stop it? I don't really get it anymore with the Harry Kane free kicks. Wolves, Finland, there's no more excuses, but worry signs for Antonio Conte right now, Wolves, Finland. This is not where he wants to be. And also, especially after coming back from, it's just a long break, you would think he would love to be in the exact opposite scenario right now to take away a bit of the pressure that might be on him at this stage. But there is actually probably a bit of pressure on him right now from Spurs fans.
But the thing is, do you know what, Jacko? Actually, doesn't matter what manager comes in here. The defenders are still going to do the same shit they continue to do. It really doesn't matter what manager comes in here. We've seen this with Jose, Nuno, now Conte, you know? We just know what it really doesn't matter what manager comes in here unless they spend money on that fucking back line. You know, look, Son has to hold on to the ball better further up the pitch anyway. Tanganga has to be better in the air. And then Dyer just has to learn to engage his man. How many times do we keep seeing him? Drop. Oh. This is going to be a long game. A very long game. All they're going to do is just pump ball after long ball after long ball. But like even Dyer, right? Why are you dropping them and letting them cross the ball when you know that's exactly what they're going to do? That's their game plan.
Forster needs to be stronger there as well. Azad Hamid said, this is so poor, man. Conte is looking so disinterested. Somebody's going to have to turn it around here, Azad. It's either going to need to be Conte at halftime to get his team on the right track, or it's going to need to be one of these players to step up. I can't really make any excuses for anybody, Azad. No excuses for anybody.
But like, you know, we could see this coming though, Jack, with the contract not being signed. Me, you, Shawnee, you know, and Phil, you know, we spoke about Lent the other day. You know, that we expect this shit if the contract hasn't been signed.
Yeah, we did speak about whether the players are fully behind him yet, also, too, with maybe the rumors that have been coming out. Doherty with the header into Kulusevski.
If they know he hasn't signed a new contract, this, that, and the other, why would they continue to work hard, you know? And I don't want to hear anyone make any excuses for them either because, you know, it was the same under Jose after a while, same under Nuno after a while. I don't want to hear any excuses made for these fuckers anymore. I really don't. I've had enough of it. Sick of it. And then they all come out 2 years later. Oh, Antonio was great. Oh, yeah, okay. Why you get him sacked then? Idiots. He's done nothing either. Doherty.
Can't really make a case for anybody here.
Everyone's been shit. It's all Brentford. From 1 to 11, we've been shit.
I have your super chat is out. I have it up on screen, my friend. And we spoke about it, brother. I told you, I don't think there's any excuses for anybody. And it's not a good sign for Antonio Conte after the contract situation as well.
There's no excuses from anybody at the club. You know, none. Players, management, you know, owners, no excuses.
I didn't miss it, Azad. I didn't miss it. Brentford
on the attack again here. Oh my God, was that Dyer? Oh my, I just don't believe what I've just seen. He goes to header out of play and gets muscled off the ball. Like, why do we have to keep going behind? Like, this is what, 9-10 games on the trot now we've gone behind, in competitive games. Can't keep going behind. Can't keep looking to score fucking 3 goals every single bloody game. Can't keep going 1-0 down, 2-0 down. Fed up of it.
Especially if we already have a tired Harry Kane and Sonny right now as well. They're going to have to step into overdrive here, Dave.
Someone just needs to put their foot on the ball, learn to trap it, and actually have a bit of calmness and composure about them. Dyer puts Tanganga under awful amount of pressure into Doherty. Well done. Basuma, well done. Kulu. Come on. Go on, Basuma. Drive through the middle. Show us. He moves. This loses out.
Kulusevski and Rico Henry in a little scuffle.
This is starting to freeze an awful lot now, Jacko.
Yeah. Nick should be fixing it. If not, or I'll just make my own. I'll just make my own, Dave, and I'll send it to you.
Who's that in Buemo? Poor by Kulu. Go on, Kulu. Hit him a header. Oh, it looks like it's all right now. Just fed up of going behind, man. Fed up of it. Wolves, Finland, I don't want to see Harry Kane on free kicks either. I'm fed up with him on free kicks as well. Fed up. Yo, lad's not happy. He says a joke. Yeah, of course. It's just disaster. We haven't even had a. I think the free kick was their only attempt on target. Another ball in behind. Everyone caught out by it. Fuck me. Son holds it up this time. And oh my God, he keeps. Take him off. He's been shit. He keeps losing the ball, son. He just keeps losing the bloody football. Dyer hoofs one up in the air. Harry Kane does well to try and win it. Kulu didn't anticipate the knockdown. Lenglet, another just balloon long. It's just atrocious. It's just atrocious. Any pressure on them? No, everyone's walking around. Tanganga loses out on another long ball.
There's one in the chat, Dave, if you want to try.
Grand job. Tanganga losing out on another aerial duel there. It's not good.
A lot of people are really upset with Dyer, Dave. How have you made of it? When you look back on it, on that goal, is that more maybe his kind of responsibility and kind of stopping that cross from Mbeumo, or is it kind of just a bit of blame kind of shared all around from the whole defense, would you say?
Look, Son lost the ball up in the forward area. He's got to do better to hold on to it. Tanganga misses the header. But it's just the usual shit I see from Dyer, Jack. Like, what's Brentford's game? Put crosses into the box, long balls, throw-ins, every opportunity you get, because Tottenham cannot win the first header. Never do, and will always. And for it, as long as that back line doesn't get upgraded, it's going to continue in that way, right? So that's the game plan. So what's the first thing that goes into Dyer's head? And instead of engaging them and stopping the cross coming in, knowing we can't defend, and he's out of position as well, right? He drops deeper, and allows him the room to put the cross in.
Sonny?
Allows him to pick out the runner running in at the back post. It's just shit defending, Jack. And then anytime he's got the ball, he's ballooned it long. I mean, the first 2 minutes, Perisic turned around and was given out to him because he kicked the ball out, because he panicked. 24 minutes in. The guy already looks like he's been through the wars. Tanganga's shit as well. Just sick of it, man.
He hasn't even played it all during this World Cup. He didn't even get opportunities this World Cup to even, ruin his confidence.
Man, he was dropped for a player that was dropped at Man United. That's how shit he is. We've seen at this football club, even a half-decent player that comes in here is better than the shit that we've had to watch over the last 3 years. Even Dyer there letting that one run, and Birmingham just got on the end of that. Perisic is going to lose his rag with him in a minute.
Moon boots with his new pair of moon boots.
Pitch. It's a fucking rugby stadium.
He hasn't even played any better with his new pair of moon boots either, Dave.
It's a joke.
Kulusevski here, time and space.
Come on, Kulu. Show us that magic. Out to Matt. Back to Kulu.
Oh, skins
Kulu!
him.
Skins
Come
him
on,
the
Kulu.
byline.
Oh,
Oh, lucky. That's better. At least he's trying. Well done.
Kulusevski.
Probably could have took a cross jack, but at least he wants to try and make an impact, you know? I love the way he slows down and then does that move all the time. Slows down, skins them along the byline.
It really is his signature. He could have maybe thought about a cross to Højbjerg or Kane there.
That was my favorite move when I was a youngster as well, Jacob. Pretend you're going to cross it and then beat them on the byline.
He took a knock there, though. He took a knock there. Please, please, please. Oh, he took it to the groin, or he took it to the hip there. Took like a bump.
Hip. He's all right. He's all right. He's made of strong stuff.
We're just so dependent on him, Dave. Honestly, I'd wrap him in bubble wrap if I could.
Oh. It's just so frustrating. I mean, anyway, who thought it would be a good idea to give someone like Eric Dyer new boots? You know? He can't even kick the ball in his old fucking boots or get off the ground in his old boots. Why would you give him new ones?
Tanganga also has not been any better than Sanchez.
Like giving the guy hair gel. He doesn't have any.
Tanganga hasn't not been any better than Sanchez, says Tyler.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. They've both been shit. But the thing is, Tanganga barely plays. We know he's been written off. You know?
Yeah, that's fair.
My problem is Moonhead fucking plays week in, week out and does the same shit all the time. Not a Brentford free kick. Let's just keep giving away free kicks and give them what they want. Long ball in, boom, header at goal.
John, no one gave it a 9 in here, and John, and you love to come in here and chat shit against your own Spurs fans, John. Hot man, you are.
Actually, John, I think you're confused. I called last January transfer window a 9, not the summer. I said the summer we had a good window.
Try though, John.
I'm disappointed we didn't do the centre back. But as a Spurs fan, I don't know why you're coming in and blaming us for this loss. I mean, I would love to be out of Dyer's position, but I'm not. So I don't know why you're coming in here blaming us. Typical tactics. Actually, instead of coming in here blaming us, send the club a fucking email. How about that?
Nah, John would rather blame his fellow fan. Forster.
Sauceburn, come on, get on the ball. It's just no movement. Son drops deep to pick it up. Son with a couple of step overs. He's gone out wide to Perisic. Perisic skins his man, tries to get in across. It's gone all the way out the far side. Matt Doherty picks it up. Does well to get it under control. Tries to do a Kulu, can't. Back to Kulu. Oh, just give it to Kulu.
Right foot across.
Get the cross in. Cleared.
Dyer. Oh,
Moonhead
heavy.
Do not
Sonny.
Just a shit effort. Didn't even catch it.
He's had a few efforts from distance that he hasn't caught properly.
Kev William, he says, I hope you had a good Xmas. I was having a great Xmas up until this. For God's sake. A wonderful Xmas up until this.
Moonhead.
I'll go ball into the middle. Get it under control. Now, son, run at him. Get at him. Go on, son. Oh, he keeps losing the ball. He keeps giving it away. Dyer. Out to Tanganga. Move it forward. Not safe pass. Back to Dyer. Passes on the responsibility to Langley.
We're so narrow. Oh, we just can't. We can't. We're so narrow, and we can't string a few passes together.
No.
Well done.
Can't string more than 2. Who was that? Perisic or Højbjerg?
Oh, Højbjerg and
Can't make
whoever
out
just hit it out of play. Jesus, boys.
We just can't string 2 passes together. Anytime the forwards touch the ball apart from Kulu, they fucking lose it. Just give the ball to Kulu. Let him do everything. Everyone else just flood the box. None of them can do that. And even Kane's been crap. Kane's barely touched the football. Son keeps losing that, but at least he's getting on it. Tanganga, well done. Doherty.
Kane. Oh. Basuma. Well done, Basuma. Don't you dare.
That's a throw in. Well done. Good pressure. Come on, the fuck. Matt Doherty on the throw in. Down the right-hand side here. He's taking an eternity because there's no... Someone move! Someone bloody move! Basuma, good ball down the line to Kulu. No one reached the flick on.
It's just no one. There's also no one there for Basuma, though.
Oh.
Moonhead. Out wide to long line.
Well done.
Long line, Perisic.
Oh, beautiful. Bit of space.
Spurs trying to get more possession, but anytime we get into that Brentford half, we struggle to string passes together.
They're gonna blame the sun being in their eyes, you know. Basuma with a heavy touch out to Tanganga. Doherty.
Oh, poor from Tanganga.
Shit
Very,
ball
very
out.
poor pass. He's trying to get Kulusevski injured.
Seems like it, doesn't it? Dyer. That's better. Kulu. Back to Matt Doherty. Into Dyer. Kulu. Gone out for a Spurs throw. It's all well and good trying to get possession, but it needs to be up in the other half. No point in passing across the back line from left to right. It's not going to get
Skunk
you goals.
works.
We're 1 down. Did he even realise we're 1 down? Have they forgotten?
Skunkworks saying that Brentford is the only one that hasn't shown up hungover today. To be honest, this whole team looks like they've had too many Christmas puddings last night. And it is probably to be said that Brentford have, I don't even know if they had any players go to the World Cup for them. So they really have been training with a full squad, I think, this entire time, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you know what? I'm not even going to give these Spurs players
There
who
is
are
no-
an excuse, Jack. If we want top 4, right, and other teams are closing in on us, or we want to make a challenge, right, because we're in a position now, you either kick on and you go and try mount a challenge, or you just try and scrape over the line for top 4, right? But either way, we should be winning games like this. You know, it's games like this that nearly cost us last year. When everyone praised us, oh, but we finished 0-0. You know, we kept a clean sheet. Terrific. Is it 3 points on the board, though? No, it's not. And we nearly got caught last year. Only Newcastle done us a favour against Arsenal, right? You know, it's games like this that is the difference between the end of the season, whether you get silverware, whether you don't, whether you finish top 4, whether you don't. No excuses. A team like Brentford, you should be beaten. End of. We've got better ballers out there.
Brentford going to probably go for another long throw here.
Even if they were tired, it doesn't. It's not an excuse not to be able to string 2 passes together 5 yards apart.
Long throw from Jensen. Cleared away by Basuma. Long way.
Let's just head her into our penalty area. I mean, that's just brain dead.
Basuma with a terrible clearance back into danger, and Pinnock is able to have a shot on goal. Good save from Forster, actually.
How does he pin Langley there? Look at him. It's too easy. Well done, Forrester. Corner kick.
And Buma whipping it in.
Brentford look like they're going to flood the near post here.
Well done from Forrester. Punches it away.
Oh, the break is on.
Oh, poor. Whoever played that from Perisic. That was poor. He had Sonny over the top.
Yeah, it should have been in behind. Matt Doherty's right in front of you. Jesus.
Jeez, boys. These are easy.
Just header it down to him. Just into his feet. Jesus.
One of them, the other one, Perisic, all he had to do is just launch it over Sonny. And that one, Doherty, all it takes is just a cushion header.
It's just a cushion down header. I mean, it's one of the. I mean, how many times as a kid, and I know he has because I come up in the Irish system. How many times as a kid has it been on the training pitch, little shuffle, header, back to the coach's chest? Simple. He's probably done it 3,000 times. But because there's a crowd there, it all goes. Just boom. So frustrating, man. Where's that to? Don't tell me Fraser Forster just tried to play a long ball to Son.
David Raya sends it long. Tanganga.
Oh, holy shit, he's all over the shop.
Yeah,
Oh,
he can't even.
He's worse than Sanchez. He's worse.
Højbjerg.
He's just all over the shop. He's got 3 feet, that fucker.
Yeah, I just can't even believe he didn't win any of those. Longley sends it long.
What is the point? Like, what is the point?
Well done, Sonny. Højbjerg
Oh my God, he steps
leaves it behind him.
Out to Jaffet. Just give it to someone else before you lose it. Thank you. Give it to Salzburg. Back to Tanganga. To Doherty. Comes inside.
Dyer taking his time here.
Yep, we're not losing 1-0 or anything. Idiot.
Tanganga.
Go on,
Basuma.
Basuma. Just drive at them. Salzburg. Oh, good ball. Langley.
Longley.
Oh.
Well done, Longley.
Oh.
Pierre.
Salzburg.
Pierre.
Oh. Nearly got through there. Win that again. Let's keep this pressure up. Basuma.
Nice.
Out to Perisic. That's how you do it.
Perisic.
He needs to bring Doherty to the pitch, to training pitch. Go on, Perisic. Get the ball in here.
Come on,
Kane's
son.
not even in there. Son's your target, man. Like, someone needs to get in the box. Out to Kulu.
Kulusevski now.
He looks to wrap his left foot round this.
Oh.
Didn't quite get the height on it it needed. Don't let him pin you.
Moonboots all over Tony, and he gives away a fucking foul. He's going nowhere, Moonhead. He's going nowhere.
My God, what is wrong with him? Jesus Christ, a battle winner. Hallelujah. Oh. Can you not just do something so simple? So what?
Paul Markey, Tanganga will either get himself sent off or give a goal away with his rashness. Get him off quick. It's just a pick your poison between him and Sanchez, Paul Markey. It really is just a pick your poison situation. Without Ben Davies, it's just we know it's going to be more of a disaster. It already is a disaster with this backline, but the moment we have to pick Sanchez and Tanganga alongside Moonhead, it just turns into a disaster scenario, Paul. I kind of have more confidence today going into it with Tanganga than I did Sanchez. We've seen enough of Sanchez, but Tanganga really, like, just yet again, really does never put himself in any sort of real chance or really doesn't give himself any sort of leeway or any sort of kind of credit because he really has looked no better than Sanchez. Absolutely, Paul. And he does look rash, and he does look like he can't win a header. He's giving away fouls. He's looking rash. Like you just said there, he could get himself sent off, Paul.
He's missing absolutely everything.
He can't make a tackle.
But you know what? If Dyer didn't make that give away that free kick, Jack, we'd still have them under pressure right now. You know?
We were deep in their half, Dave. Exactly right.
Deep in their own half. You know,
and it was our first little bit of finally we had a good little spell as well, and we just gave it away that easily.
3 Spurs players around him, and Dyer decides he'll run through the arse of him. I mean, he must have seen the rugby markings on the pitch and thought he was playing a different sport for a fucking minute.
Kev Williams, 5th league game in a row now that we've gone behind first. It's just worry signs, I must be honest, Kev, because I don't really think anybody deserves an excuse or anybody can really hold themselves, above the others. Conte very much has to take a fair bit of blame here. He's had a lot of time to prepare for this one. And also in the case of, the contract talks and all the pressure surrounding him, he really does maybe need a convincing performance here in order to take the pressure off. If not, there will be rightfully so a bit of pressure and a little bit of speculation still lingering. Kev Williams, and again, these are just really bad stats to be a part of. We can't expect to be a top 4 side with these type of stats of going down game after game after game and expecting to get
like
back
10
into
games
it.
across all competitions, Jack, though. Like the League Cup went behind. Nearly all the games of the Champions League group we went behind, you know? It's madness. It's madness.
John, it was directed at the whole chat. You called out my name, bro. Don't even try, John. Don't even try. I appreciate the apology, but you did call out my name, John. Don't pretend like it was aimed at the chat. Please.
It's just like you're seeing reports all Tottenham in for a midfielder, you know what I mean? Right wing back. I'm sorry, but like we're not leaking. Like, yeah, we have problems going forward at right wing back, but we're not leaking goals. And the problem is keeping goals out. How are we not being linked to any centre backs? I just don't understand that. How are we not looking to improve that defense this window? You know, it's madness. And it doesn't even take big money. It's just about buying well. Like we brought Langley in, and even he's an improvement on what we've got. Got him in on loan.
Longley is our best defender on the field right now, and that's just he's still.
Oh my God, Matt Doherty, fucking hell! Now he's going to start doing it too. Basuma picks it up though. Oh, Kane, take it into you, man. You've got to learn to hold that up.
Everyone's shocking.
Everyone's
today.
just doing everything wrong.
Everyone's been shocking.
Well, actually, Kulu, I'll give him a break because the best things have come from him. He's trying. The rest of them are just doing donut things. Oh, well,
Højbjerg.
Here, that's a free ref. That's right.
Oh, Jesus! Can't even give us anything there.
We need to try and put a bit of pressure on them as well. Everyone's just standing still. Oh, well done.
Oh, come on, Kulusevski.
You're going to take him down.
Basuma.
Give it into Sun nice and early before you lose it.
Oh,
God.
Basuma. Please. Oh, no. Tony's through.
Where's Dyer
Tony's through.
Where was
Tony's through.
And where was Dyer and Tanganga?
He has to be off. He has to be off. He has to be off. He has to be off.
He looks like he is.
He looks like he knows he's off.
How is he free straight through the middle of that back line? Where's Dyer?
It's terrifying.
Oh, he's not even aware.
Gives it away. That's a foul, though, ref.
Oh my God. God. Tanganga's keeping him on side. Dyer doesn't even know where Tony is. They're playing one up front and they don't even know where he is.
That's just embarrassing. Tanganga and Dyer are just embarrassing.
They're all over the shop. They're making each other make mistakes and look bad as well.
The whole team looks hungover. The whole team barely can see straight.
I think he's on here, Jack. I think Tanganga was playing him on.
They're looking at it.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think Tanganga was keeping him on side.
No, it looks like it was off.
Just because Tanganga didn't hold that line.
Just barely. It looked like Basuma that was fouled. It still is shocking all around, but it looked like Basuma I thought was fouled too.
Out to Langley. Langley tries the ball into Harry Kane. Harry Kane wins it. Can Sonny get on the end of it? Well out by Raya.
Paul Markey, we are a yard slower in every single position. I can't even point out one player maybe other than Kulusevski that in any way sort of can hold themselves somewhat, hold their head somewhat high or think that maybe they're putting in some sort of, impact on the game, Paul. No one has made any impact on the game, I could say, other than Kulusevski.
Yeah, it's madness. And look, even the likes of Højbjerg and Basuma have tried, but they keep fucking falling over the football. Langley's done all right over the other side in terms of on the ball.
We just need, I just need 3 Lengleys. We really do. And this is what's sad is that Langley is really quite average for us, but we need average in order to have some sense of stability.
Oh my God, they're breaking again. With that first touch.
Our defenders are so shocking that I would bite someone's hand off for a fucking average center back.
honestly, I'd nearly get the club to raffle off 2 positions to fans, you know? Get them in. Can't do any worse.
Well done,
Well,
Doherty.
go on, Kulu.
Find him, Kulu.
What are you-
Nice, Doherty.
Oh, well done. This is good play by Kulu and
Pull it
Doherty.
back, son. There we go. Come on, Sonny.
Use him on
Find
the
him,
outside.
Sonny. Jeez.
Harry Kane.
It's a poor pass from Sonny, though. Like, it's just
Shit
doesn't.
ball.
He
Shit
gives it.
ball
You
by-
should give it out wide there, Sonny. Give it out wide. Then let Perisic whip it into Kane. Kane didn't look like he was expecting it.
Ball back. Just the wrong decision. You're 100% correct, Jack. Just give it to Højbjerg, who's motoring on the outside like fucking Steve.
Whoever it was on the outside, that's who you give it to.
Salzburg.
Well done, Matt. Matt's starting to play a bit better now, and he has combined well
Yeah.
with Kulusevski from time to time. He's
Yeah,
not
he's
the
starting-
greatest defensively, but
That was risky by Forrester. Yeah, Matt Doherty is starting to get into it, to be fair. Positionally, defensively, he's actually been all right as well today.
I can't slate him too much.
Salzburg.
Kane.
Into Kane. Well
Find
done. That's
Sonny
good.
through the middle. See Sonny? Ooh.
Someone get in the box. Kulu. Out to Matt. Back to Kulu. Come on, Kane. Get into a central position and give them something to fucking hit. Basuma.
Salzburg out wide of Perisic. 1-on-1. Perisic, dink
Oh!
ball. Ooh. Top of the box. Højbjerg. Ooh.
Win that, Basuma.
That's Tanganga.
It's a
He
free.
still made that look awkward.
Dyer.
Pierre.
Come on, Hollis. Come on, Salzburg. Kane.
Oh.
Kane still
Kane.
has it. Give it out wide. Well done. Langley to
Sonny.
Sonny.
Thinks it. Shit.
Everything we've done has just been crap. Oh my God. Don't tell me he's just
Tanganga cannot. He just can't make a tackle. He's getting bullied out there. He's just
I
not
don't
good
believe
enough.
he's
He's
just
just
done
not good enough. He really isn't.
I don't
He
believe
just
he's-
hasn't made one tackle yet. He just hasn't been able to make a tackle convincingly. He's fouled him every time. He's getting bullied physically.
he's inside his own half. Conte's gone mad. Conte's gone absolutely mad. Like, there's no pressure on us. He doesn't need to do it. He's inside his own half. Just stick behind him. Just don't let him get turned. Make him go backwards. It's so stupid. You know, Dyer done one earlier on before that. Like, what is with these? What is with it in their own half? It's just criminal. It's absolutely criminal. Just make him go backwards with the ball.
No, you're fine. Paul Markey, the only thing Tanganga is a waste of space. He's been a waste of space in the depth charts because we haven't been able to get a new center back since he hasn't left. Paul, you're probably right. I mean, literally, he's kind of been a waste of space because with him not leaving this summer, that meant we couldn't get another center back.
Yeah.
Sonny, come on, Sonny.
Sonaldo cuts inside.
Oh,
Pass
well
it
done
up.
by Sonny.
Salzburg.
Here he
Back up
is.
to
Perisic.
Good ball. With
Oh!
that. Oh. Coming in at the back post. That's better. At least he's getting in there. Kulu with the throw in. Basuma. Back to Kulu. Plays Matt
Well
Doherty.
done, Matt. Good
Leaves up a
touch.
bit of space for himself.
Cross it in.
Harry
Ooh.
Kane. Oh. Rhea does well to collect that.
Halftime. We'll bring you in here, Shawnee. Halftime, 45
my-
minutes in. 1-0 down still. We started to look like a much better team towards the end of that half, and we started to have some opportunities there. I think Matt, Doherty, and Kulusevski are probably the bright spots, I would say, maybe of that half is how I would look at it. But everybody, there it is. Please hit that like button while you're in here. We're going to get all people on onto the show and to see what they have to say on this. But Dave, well, I'm kind of adding in Sean and Nick. What are your thoughts maybe about that first half, and how can Spurs turn this around?
I mean, we've been absolutely shambolic. We've been shit from minute 1 to minute 49. I mean, can't get control of the ball where everyone's falling over the ball, underkitting passes, overhitting passes, not finding their target. You have the back line who even when they press high up into their half, they're giving away stupid free kicks, which is criminal. You just got to show them backwards. You know, you don't give away a free kick like that. For the goal, preventable on so many levels. Son, bar that bit at the end. How many times has he given away the ball today? Gave it away. Compiled by another error by Tanganga, not being good enough in the air, and then Dyer just dropping, allowing him across into the box when he knows that's what he wants. The life of a defender is you to stop them doing what they want to do, and he failed to do it. Forrester at times hasn't covered himself in glory. Højbjerg and Mr. in the middle, anytime they touch the ball, they're falling all over it. It's just been a complete wish-wash from the start, not good enough. No cohesiveness about it. Doesn't look like there's a game plan to it. We're just not performing, Jack. I actually don't even know where to start with this one because I would say everybody, bar probably Kulusevski, has been bad. Anytime Kulu's touched the ball, he's been direct. He's trying to get at them. But even when he's putting the ball into the boxes, Kane's not there. Son's not there. You know what I mean? It's just not good enough. I don't even know where to start with this. I'd be interested to see what Nick and Shaw make of it, but I'm extremely frustrated. I mean, it's not looking good for Conte if performances keep going this way either, Jack.
No,
One thing I will say is a lot of times in the second half, we seem to expel our energy and go for it. Sometimes get the comeback. Hopefully it's the same today. But there's going to have to be substitutions made. You know, really, there has to be, Jack, or even switch and go to a 3-5-2 or something like that. But something has to be. You can't keep going on like this. It is shocking. It's probably one of the worst performances I witnessed this season.
Well, it's probably just because you didn't deserve it, Dave. It's right after Christmas. We've had a huge break from Spurs. We kind of just thought it would be a whole lot different, but it's actually been a whole lot of the same, hasn't it, Nick? And can we be optimistic, or I don't know, like, where do you stand on this? Because like I said, it's been.
I mean, if we're just looking at the averages and how we started out most of the games the previous half of the season, okay, we could be optimistic in that we found a way to come back from situations like this. I think we can be optimistic in that they've had a 45-minute warm-up now, and after 45 minutes, they finally look like they're starting to play.
45-minute alarm.
That is literally what it looked like. It looked like everybody was a little sluggish. You know, bar Kulusevski, as Dave's pointed out, too. And just when I was writing down, well, you know, Basuma hasn't been all that bad, he falls over. I'm actually not going to put that down to him. I actually think Basuma has not been atrocious. He's at least looking to make a positive move on the pitch. And he's been there. I'm not too convinced at him in that anchor, in that sit back and mop up role. You know, it's just, I don't have the confidence. We're missing a Bentancur right now. And I think that's kind of obvious.
I think we're missing a Bentancur and an average good defender right now is what,
right,
is what we need.
Yeah.
And at least one.
We're missing a lot more than that, mate. We're missing a lot more than that. We're missing a Harry Kane that we were looking for. He's been completely anonymous, doing his usual hold-up play, but getting picked, his pocket being picked every time he does it. It's been a shambles. And you know what? I was listening to the Amazon commentary, and these two people that are talking, that the female commentator and the male, I don't know who they are. The male guy who's doing like the kind of like the play-by-play stuff, and the pair of them are saying, like, they're giving so much credit to Antonio Conte, saying, "Look, Tottenham are like this, right? Tottenham are asleep in the first half, but it's Antonio Conte's like wake up, amazing like rally calls at halftime where he delivers home truths." No, actually, it's like, he set up a team that doesn't fucking turn up for the first 45 minutes of football games. Like,
do you think it's a tactic, Sean?
Yeah, I think it's on some level a tactic for sure. Preserve energy, especially against teams that are going to do the press in the first 45 minutes. And Brentford do and have done the press incredibly well in the first 45 minutes. None of our back five, not even the middle two, had any time on the ball whatsoever. Yeah. They know that Tottenham are vulnerable to that stuff. It doesn't matter whether you've got Hugo Lloris or Fraser fucking Foster in goal, where the ball gets passed back, because they don't know where. None of them are press resistant. We haven't got a single player in our team today that is press resistant, not in the back three, nor in the middle two. Bentancur's probably the one press resistant guy who gets it right 9 times out of 10, but the rest of them are absolutely woeful. Brentford knew that. So they've done really well. Now sit back and expect Tottenham to come out second half and have 70% possession. We're going to pepper them, and we're going to end up probably, in an ideal scenario, drawing 1-1, which is a useless result in the grand scheme of things. and we're going to pick them off with a set piece or some sort of header. But like, to me, like, it's like the commentators praising Conte for this system where he tells them at halftime to go out and play football.
Yeah.
Play for 90 fucking minutes.
I honestly,
Play for
after a
90
huge break
fucking
as well,
minutes.
Sean, I can't really have that. After
There's
a huge
no
break, like
excuses.
I'd accept it when we were in October, when we were playing every freaking 2 days. Like, geez, I mean, you had to probably
Yeah.
find some sort of tactic for that, but not like when we've had this long of a break.
Yeah.
Dark Sun G here
done
saying,
nothing.
unlucky first goal. We can win this though. Comeback Kings. We have been the comeback kings, Dark Sun G, but I think where a lot of people are feeling is like it's getting exhausting being the comeback kings is how a lot of people see it. And we also felt like after this huge break, we probably didn't want to have to go through another comeback. We didn't want to find ourselves in the scenario where we had to sort of motivate ourselves, but it's good to see the optimism in the chat. That's for sure. Al Ben here. Dyer always does that sideways turn thing, giving himself absolutely no chance to block the ball. Really sick of seeing it. Sean or Nick, anybody want to comment on the goal that we conceded? Is there anybody that you would point out in particular? Kind of like Dyer. A lot of people thought Dyer could have done a lot better, maybe in closing down in Bumo, making that cross a lot more difficult because some people thought he just made it way too easy. Or is there maybe someone else that you thought maybe could have maybe done a lot better there? I sort of, when I first watched it, thought kind of the whole team looked pretty shocking in defensively, but a lot of people in the chat thought that Dyer could have done a lot better at closing that down.
When I first saw it, I thought Tank. Oh, go on. Sorry, Nick. Go on, mate. You go first. Crack on.
All right, man. Well, so just admittedly, I was making coffee when that goal happened, so I listened to you guys. But it seemed, from what I saw in the playback, it seemed a lot like what happened with Tony's breakaway when Basuma fell over, too. I mean, it's a very similar situation where we've got three defenders back there, all flat-footed, all waiting to see what's going to happen next, instead of saying, you know what, he's in a 50-50. He may lose that ball. Let me get in the position to try to do something if that happens. Nobody had that on their mind, man. No. So it's the cohesion in the back line is the most worrying. We got problems up front at this game, 100%, but the cohesion in the back line, that's the worriest thing for me right now.
For me, it's, I mean, I'm not being funny, but I must have seen half a dozen times in that first 45 minutes, Tanganga get caught out with his heading, the timing of his jumps, the positioning of his jumps. He reminds me of a poor man's version of Salisu from Southampton, a big clumsy guy who just like uses his weight and just clatters into people and can't seem to time a jump. He smashed some bloke in the back of the head. If that was in a boxing match, the game would have been called off. Like he would have been disqualified. That's a rabbit punch. Like he headbutted the soft part of someone's skull. The other player was good, like lucky not to walk away with an injury, for like a proper injury from that. And I think on that particular goal, his timing, I get it. He was caught between two players because Dyer was positionally naive. Dyer needs to step up and recognize that Tanganga is playing in his debut. I think it's his debut for the season, and so he needs a little bit of support. We spoke before the game about the idea for Basuma to come back into that zone and help a little bit in the kind of bottom right-hand corner. Basuma was nowhere to be seen. Dyer was in no man's land. Tanganga got caught out. Brilliant play from Ivan Toney. That guy is just absolute class. I know he's a cheating git who, no,
but he's made our defenders look silly today. He really
makes our defenders look silly. When I say cheating git, I mean like in terms of the things he does off the field, betting on games and stuff. But brilliant player who makes our defenders look absolutely vulnerable. And this once again is the best case experience, the best case example in point of why someone like, I know that you're gonna all roll your eyes, but someone like Harry Maguire, who is tip top in the fucking air, makes more sense, because we have nobody in the back three who are capable aerially. None of them are. Eric Dyer is useless. Tanganga's useless. Romero is the worst part of his game. Ben Davies is only good defensively in the air when the ball's coming in from him on the near post, not on the far post. We have absolutely nobody that can handle pressure in the air, in the back. And today, you've got Ivan Toney that's a master of that little flick on. There's going to be 2 or 3 more opportunities that are going to come. I don't think what happened after that initial instance, I don't think you can blame anybody. Fraser Foster made a good initial save. He parried it from a really brutal deflection off of Longley. And I don't think Longley was particularly at fault either. I think it was a great first time volley from the guy on the, I forget who it was, but So after that initial header, where all the positional play was completely, at sea, I think after that it was all just very unfortunate. But the problem for me was Basuma wasn't where he should be, Dyer wasn't where he should be, Tanganga was caught in no man's land, and Tanganga's aerial timing is worse
This is the
than.
thing, though, Sean. Like in the middle of that back three, and this is what I keep talking about. It's important to have a leader there. And people get confused with being multi-bilingual as being a leader because you can talk in different languages. That a leader on the pitch would be screaming at Tanganga, don't make that tackle when they're deep in their own half. Just stand behind them, hold them up. But why would we expect Dyer to do it when 10 minutes beforehand, our first spell of pressure we had, he relieved it all by going through the back of someone on the edge of his own box? Again, Dyer, we want Tanganga to go out, engage people, start winning tackles. But how can we expect Dyer to get onto him and have that calming presence to help Tanganga when he's also dropping off all the time? And this is why I keep saying it's important to get that leader in there. We have to have it. Because if you're playing people like Tanganga or that beside him, a leader can help them look better by just, you're coaching them through the game. Don't go. Just drop in here.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can go. Do this, do that. Anytime he does something stupid, get onto him. Say, next time you do this. That's what a leader does. We don't have that. So Tanganga's left out there just to go out there and commit foul after foul after foul, constantly be caught out position, right? You can't put that all on Eric Dyer because Tanganga's his own man. He's 22, 23. He's not a kid.
Yeah, he can make a tackle on some of those.
Helps that,
I agree, Dave. I think Dyer, like a lot of cases, does also bring out the worst in other people. It brings out the worst in Lloris and sometimes some of those back passes, and probably maybe not helping Tanganga out much either. But I also will say Tanganga, plenty of those occasions, should have easily have made a tackle. And kind of the common sort of case has been when we've actually had a bit of good spell, when we've had a bit of pressure, when we've been deep in Brentford's half, it's actually been our center backs that have just been giving away stupid fouls on Ivan Toney that have just relieved them from that pressure, which has been also deeply frustrating. Jerome here with the super chat saying same thing as before the World Cup. Can't put two passes together. Dyer again is diabolical at the back. It's a lot of similarities from when we left off that for the World Cup. It's a lot of similarities there, Jerome. And that's what's worrisome is that, to be honest, I can't see too much difference in this team from when we left for the World Cup. And that's what's scary. Of course, we kind of looked at this as really just 3 points. We knew this was going to be a tough game. We knew that we had a lot of players that only just returned. At the same time, though, like it's a lot of the same problems and it's kind of the same looking Spurs, which is definitely a worry. Paul Markey here says it comes down to Conte not committing. Players aren't committed, nor will we attract the players. The Amazon commentator should also be substituted. Sean agrees with the Amazon commentators. But I feel like when it comes to the players not committing, maybe because of Conte not committing, I probably is maybe lingering there that there might be some sort of divide or lack of trust, or maybe not everybody's on the same page anymore because Conte hasn't exactly made his commitment. But again, like it just seems like a really sorry excuse for these players, especially some that probably don't really need that as an excuse. They should be using this as a good chance again to sort of make a clear case for themselves in that starting lineup. Doherty, Tanganga, who's just been put back into the team. I don't really see why Tanganga should care. To be honest, about Conte's commitment. He's been given a chance here to start and been given a chance here to come back into the team, and he's absolutely wasted it. And I see what you mean, Paul, but I feel like the whole team, including Antonio Conte, here is to blame. I think Conte hasn't covered himself in any glory going into this one, and the players certainly aren't either. Dark Sun G, to be honest, we have to come back. We have to be the comeback kings until the January transfers start coming in. He's saying that we're going to be the comeback kings only until there's going to be some change.
I'm pretty confident we'll draw this game 1-1. Right, we'll probably take control of the game now in the second half. Brentford, like the usual form, I'm pretty sure that maybe we'll give away more chances in the way I've just already explained in the air, flick-ons and stuff. But generally speaking, I think you'll expect to see Tottenham have a lot more possession. However, I think that Conte does need to look at himself, and and I think that a lot of people that will defend Conte all the time because they have other agendas to push need to have a bit of a flexibility of thought, and two things can be true at the same time. You can have owners that don't support the model, but in any individual game, you can look to put and to participate in a situation where there's allocation and responsibility in certain other areas. And it's not just the players on the pitch. The way the team is set up today should have been prepared better. There's no excuse to not have 90 minutes in the tank. So this model of like sitting back in the first half, like if it's trained, if it's by design, it's stupid. And if it's because the players literally just can't do it for 90 minutes, then that also comes down to the people at the top, the coaches, the manager, and the medical team.
Yeah.
And it's super frustrating. But I expect in the next 45 that Tottenham will do a lot better. But we're not going to get the 3 points if we carry on the way we're doing right now.
And Sean, you're welcome to stay with us if that link that we just put in the private chat isn't too choppy for you or anything. Yeah, try again if you will.
Are we starting now? Are we?
Yeah. We've already started. Click on it's in the private chat in the call that we're in right now.
Okay.
Kulusevski. Oof. Darks G, we're going to need to be the comeback kings. Absolutely right. Until these January transfers come in. Dara, we still blame managers. Very strange. I see where you mean. I see what you mean, Dara, but I'm kind of with Sean where today I just think Conte can't be completely exempt from blame today because he's had a long time to prepare for this one. The whole squad have had a long time to prepare for this one. There really isn't much of an excuse, I think, going into this game when basically they've had such a long break ahead of this. It really isn't much of an excuse. I think he had more excuses when we were playing, like we kind of said earlier, every 2 or 3 games. He had basically his whole squad injured when he had only 2 or 3 games also every single week. That was probably a time where I think maybe he could get a few more excuses and maybe a few more passes, but I don't really know if anyone can get much of a pass today, my friend.
No manager is ever going to get every manager is always going to keep carrying the can because it's cheaper to replace a manager than it is bringing 2 or 3 defenders into this football club. But look, when you've got guys that you have to put into your 11, right, and they keep making mistakes, of course you're going to make mistakes because you're always trying to counteract what they're doing, you know, rather than doing what you're trying to do. So every manager's going to always make mistakes. But look, for me, I keep saying this. I refuse to blame any manager that walks in this door until that back line gets sorted out. And we've got 11, a solid 11 on the football pitch from goalkeeper all the way up.
Sonny!
You know? Let's go! Oh,
I just want to say as well, I see a lot of people, you know, having a dig at us about not calling out the owners, this, that, and the other. I mean, look, anyone that watches this channel during the week and not just on game days know that we have no problems talking about the owners, but we also like to talk about every aspect of the club. Now, what I will say is,
and we also bring on people who talk about the owners as well. But
I want to say, yeah, you blame the owners for that defense, right? But once on game day, once them players step over the white line, the manager's in the dugout, what happens throughout that 90-odd minutes is on them. It's purely on them. They're the ones on the football pitch. They're the ones being paid to get results.
Yeah. Basuma here.
Also,
lovely
I see that
from Basuma. All right. See you later, Shawnee.
During the I'm not here during the game to sit there and just talk about the owners during the game. I like to talk about what's going on in the game and stuff like that.
Sorry, Sean. Is it working okay for you? Or no?
Not really, but I just wanted to quickly chime in on I think the guy that Dave responded to. Like, I think he made 5 or 6 different comments about the fact that we all said that we shouldn't be spending big in January. Like, that's either massively out of context, or it's complete nonsense. It's complete nonsense.
What was said, if people want to know what was said, it's not how much you spend, it's what you spend it on.
Yeah, exactly.
But, look,
at no point have I heard any of us say, no, guys, let's not spend any money. Let's go after the cheapest players available. It's the weirdest, and he said it 7 or 8 times in there. It's such a nonsense comment.
Super chat there from Sava. He says, all talk of defenders. What about how bad we are when our midfielders and forwards get the ball? Can't take blame. His football is diabolical. Look, to be fair, at that time, Sava, we were responding to the super chats and stuff like that and general comments. But we did mention at the very start of halftime and even a bit during the game, like, you know, Son's been shit on the ball, Kane's been non-existent, Basum and Højbjerg keep falling over it. I do think, yeah, look, everyone is shit today. Absolutely everybody.
But yeah, I don't think anyone can hold themselves, you know, above the rest at the moment.
I come back to when we're not playing well, you know, a sign of a good team keeps clean sheets. If your defense can't clean sheets, you know, but we keep underestimating how important clean sheets are. or how important a good defense is. You've got to keep goals out to be able to go and win games.
Good play here. Kane, play that first time.
Yeah.
Nice. Here it is in the sunny.
Suma out wide to Langley. Langley driving forward with the ball. Give it to Perisic. Let him put one in. Perisic on the ball. He's got Salzburg there if he needs him.
Back post. Kane being brought down.
No, I don't think he was, Jack. I don't know. I don't think he didn't look like he was. They're all claiming it, but he didn't look. Maybe they could be claiming handball.
So I can stay on with you guys because for some reason Amazon's now gone and jumped rather than being 30 seconds behind. It's now 30 seconds ahead. So I'm pressing pause on my Amazon and I'll catch up. It's perfect.
Lovely.
I don't think that was penalty.
Sorry we couldn't get to that sooner, Sava. We were just in a good discussion earlier, my friend. But like I said earlier, normally I like to give a lot of excuses for Conte. I don't normally see him as the culprit. But today, though, I mean, how much time he's had to prepare, how much the whole squad has had time to think about this game. I don't really think anybody can really have any excuses for this one. Not really. It's just how it is, especially with how much time we've had to prepare for this one, Sava. I don't think anyone can really expect to have an excuse, well prepared. Whereas like before is just a different story. I think before is just a different story. So I do agree with you there on that point, Sava. And then also Steve D says rudderless and it shows.
Yep.
Just no direction at the moment, Steve D. And also we just really we lack any sort of drive going into this game. A lot of players have been almost like looking like they had too many Christmas puddings last night, maybe too many drinks, too many just in general, just looking like just a hungover squad out there. And it also is the case that Conte, let's be honest, could have maybe known that could have been the case, that some of these players maybe might not be feeling their best, might not be feeling totally energized. And he needs to also make sure that these boys are in every single way prepared mentally for this game. It's just like I said, a lot of people they can't really have any excuses.
That's a pen.
I don't know, Sean.
He's got his arm all over him. It's a rugby tackle. You don't think so?
Nah, I think this.
I'd be nervous if it was on the other way around.
I don't know. I think that's soft if that's given.
Well, I'll take soft.
I think Kane was going for the diving header anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you're right. It's not a clear pen, but
oh my fucking god, that moonhead!
Corner. Oh my fucking god!
Oh my god!
I literally, Sava, you need to
moonhead. Moonhead.
I can't believe I've just seen that. Oh my god, I wouldn't even see that in an under-8s game, and if I did, I'd substitute them.
There's no way. Like, how are we supposed to even win this game with that moonhead back there?
He's literally just kicked it out for a corner kick.
Wait a minute! Oh,
I think you're just ahead of us.
Am I ahead of you?
Yeah.
Sorry,
cornering now. Header at goal, and it's 2-0 Brentford.
Fuck
just
me.
Get off, right? No
Fuck
one
me.
Like, we need someone that can just get off the ground and go and win something. That's apps. And I'm sorry, there's no one else to blame but Eric Dyer for that. Under no pressure.
2 goals.
Ball out for corner.
2 goals now. Eric Dyer has played a huge part in. 2 goals. Eric Dyer has played a huge part in.
Nobody else to blame but Moonhead.
Fucking
and look, he's walking down his head now. Who's standing there?
Useless. He is useless. He is useless. He has become completely useless. He was played a huge part in the first goal. First goal, he didn't close down in Bumo. This one, he gives away the corner. Then we concede from the corner. He doesn't even win. I mean, it's not like it's
just no one else to blame but him. He's the one that gave away the corner under no pressure. It's just no one else to blame but him. I'm sorry. It's just shocking. No one marking him. Free tapping at the back post. It's just, I'm sorry, but all starts with the Moonhead. No pressure. Why not? Have a corner kick. Let's make it hard on ourselves. Why not?
I don't even think Longley and Moonboots and Højbjerg don't cover themselves in glory and marking Tony either there.
No, but it doesn't matter.
No, I mean, I'm saying Dyer he could try his very best, Dave, to make sure that he wins that header after making a mistake, or make sure that he's totally switched on to try to clear it away. And that's just genuinely it's just 2 goals that Eric Dyer has just played a huge part in. It's just 2 goals he's played a massive part in.
If you're still watching Saturday, there's no way you can blame Conte for that goal. No way. That's all on Moonhead.
Oh, come on, Tottenham. Apologies about the sync, boys, but I'm back. I'm now back with you.
You're all good.
Well, at least I hope I am. But
I'll tell you now in a sec.
Yeah, next time.
Next stream. It's that bad. Even Amazon don't want us to watch it. They don't want to put us through it.
I can't believe what.
So,
I
Sean, we're on 55 seconds, going 55 minutes and 20 seconds.
Okay, so you're slightly ahead of me again. Okay.
What were you going to say anyway, Shawnee, before I rudely cut you off?
No, I just can't get my head over. Like, there is no accounting for individual mistakes, but you know, individual mistakes come from being put under pressure. Formations, cross comes in.
I mean, but what
they haven't been put under much pressure this half. Like they like, and also like he wasn't put under pressure when he cleared it out.
That was just shocking. Listen, it's unforgivable. But
even
listen,
the first goal, it was just a long ball. Just a long ball. That's all it was.
Yeah.
It's not pressure. It's bread and butter for a centre back. Bread and bloody butter. You want them coming at you, especially when you're 6 foot plus. What you don't want is people running at you. What you do want is the long balls, and that's what they've done for the first goal. Long ball. Second goal, no pressure.
There's a World Cup hangover. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few teams today that have had lots of players away that probably are slow out of the traps. Or if there's not, that will amplify my frustration.
Yeah, it would amplify it.
Right. If Chelsea, if Man City come out and just fucking demolish whoever they're playing, I forget who they're playing. If they go and smash them 4-0, if Arsenal do the same, if Chelsea do the same, oh no.
Oh no, Tanganga getting turned here. Oh no. And Bumo.
Queuing up here.
Thank you, Hoiberg.
Performances like this will get a manager sacked, and with the contract not being signed, it's gonna happen.
I'm really not that, but I was talking to Josh, the Tottenham guy earlier, mate. I'm really not that like bothered right now about them. Like, I just feel like it's the timing of everything that we need, everything that he like the problems with him having the style of play that he does, which means it's not easy to buy for a specific player like for that he needs if he's not around in 6 months. Like, I think there's so many shadows hanging over Tottenham. The Paratici legality issues, Conte's contract. Why the fuck haven't the financial results been released? Like, what's going on with the clarity on the direction? Like, there's so many shadows hanging over Tottenham Hotspur that, you know, and also the style of football that they're playing.
Forster.
Oh no, come on, Fraser.
Oh Jesus my God,
you need to be stronger there.
Do you know he didn't even put that cross in a generator? He just ballooned that up high. Just put it up high. You know, it's shocking. Yo, lads in the comments, he's going mad. He's saying our fringe players are very poor. I mean, what the F is that clown doing in goal for THFC? As for Tanga, for fuck's sake. Yeah. I know that. I know.
Jerome here with a super chat.
Get out of brandy. Just have a brandy. Just enjoy your day, Just enjoy it. Try.
Jerome as well. He says, "I'm well fucking done with Dyer. Get him out of my fucking club." Says Jerome. It's moon boots. Like, we just knew that. I think Dave and I have made ourselves very clear on Moonhead. We know that it's going to take sooner, or it's going to take a bit longer than just this January transfer window. I don't think he's going to be leaving this January transfer window, but the whole point is about bringing in competition in order to actually challenge Eric Dyer. The issue is that Eric Dyer doesn't even need competition right now to make himself look terrible. That's the sad.
He'll start again against Villa. He will start again.
Well, because there is no other player to pick right now, Sean. But what's funny about Eric Dyer right now is that he's not even needing competition to make himself look shit at this moment in time. He doesn't need pressure. Like, he doesn't need pressure on him. He doesn't need someone breathing down his shoulder, Sean, taking his spot for him to become shit. Like, he can do it well on his own, clearly.
And the thing is, whatever about being one down, you're like, okay.
Oh my God, Tanganga, what are you doing? Oh my God. Oh, it's Basuma.
But then to do that, to put yourself 2 down and make it even harder, it's just unforgivable. I'm sorry. It's just completely unforgivable.
Yeah.
Assad Hamid, Conte has lost the dressing room. He has got to go. We spoke about this earlier on the debate show, whether the players are really fully behind him anymore after the Conte contract talks. And it's potentially the case that some players maybe have been a bit disheartened by him not committing to Spurs. I don't know. I really can't speak to it. But let's be honest, like, the dressing room right now is not a good place to be. And the more that they keep losing games and the more that they keep going down in games, it's going to be hard to keep a positive, sort of vibe. It's going to be hard to keep optimism around the dressing room. Let's just be honest, Azad.
look, we've seen this a number of times over the few years. Potter's last season, we've seen this sort of shit happening, stupid mistakes, this, that, and the other, not playing well. Manager goes. All of a sudden, Jose Mourinho comes in, results pick up, don't like him, or whatever else happens, results fall off a cliff, performances fall off a cliff, this, that, and the other. Bring in Nuno. Same thing happens to Nuno. Start off 3 games out of 3. Shit ever since then. Now under Conte, pick up, get top 4 last season. This season, no, we don't want him. But then they'll all come out in the press a little while later. You know what I mean? They'll all blame this, that, and the other and not look at themselves. I'm fed up with it. It's the same shit. And your man that sent in that super chat there is absolutely spot on. We've seen this. Seen this time and time again over the last few years. I just hope that the club do what something similar like Arsenal has done. And they turn around to the players like, no more of this. We're backing our manager. You're gone.
Let's go.
That's what Arsenal done under Arteta with Aubameyang. People like that all out of the club. No, fuck you. We're backing our manager. You've done this too many times. We now need to do that at some stage. Whether it's Conte or a new manager, you've got to do it at some stage. You've got to let the club know you're backing the manager, so they either do what he wants and you get out there and you perform week in, week out, or you're out of here. But we don't do that. We sack the manager, and results of it is Dyer's still here in 2022 after making the same mistakes in 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018, and he'll still continue to get backed. Madness.
Well, but I can already.
Do you think he's lost the dressing room, Sean? Like Azad has said here.
I think
maybe in some sections, I would imagine. Like I said, the more that they keep going down in games, the more that they keep losing, the likelier that is true.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Tottenham players are not going to enjoy going through. I don't know if the rigorous training fitness regimes are still going on after Ventrone's passing. I don't know. I'd assume it's still pretty rigorous, but listen. I hate the style of football. I hate the fact we only play for 45 minutes. And I hate the fact that Conte is always playing games. You know that I'm not someone who's like jumping on ceremony here and flip-flopping into being pissed off. I've never been that au fait with Antonio Conte. I've been with you guys for a year. I've held him accountable from day one for the shit that I don't like about him. And listen, I make everyone right who says that Daniel Levy and Enoch should need to spend money to back the team. But when we play like this against Brentford, I still look at the Brentford team, and with the exception of Ivan Toney, Tottenham have better players on the pitch than we have a better 11 on this pitch in terms of quality than the Brentford team do.
But Sean,
we do.
Like not you obviously, but in general, I've been around in the community, since the Jose days and stuff like that, but. We always reach a period where results start to fall off a cliff, and then we start talking about the same things again about the manager. Then the next guy comes in, picks up for a while, and then the same thing. And for me, I mean, who's been the common denominators in the back line? Until that back line gets properly overhauled, we're going to keep having these same conversations every year, every 2 years, every year and a half. These conversations are going to keep happening.
100%.
Until that back line is completely changed.
Yeah, 100. I completely agree with you. Like, that I think everybody I think every single fan, whichever angle you're coming at this from, everyone knows that, that we need 2 centre backs and a right wing back, in order to, that are instant improvements in what we have, in order to stand any chance. But I don't personally think that any of the other noise that's happening around Tottenham Hotspur is helping the situation.
Oh, what a ball from Longley!
You skipped ahead of me, but how did that happen? I was ahead of you. Now I'm behind.
I don't know what to do, Sean. I don't know.
Let's go.
Never hit the link. 2 down. Moonhead. It'd be 1-1 right now. We'll be going for a winner because of Moonhead. Joke. Absolute joke.
What a ball from Longley. And what
that Longley's cross, was it?
Wow. Yeah, what a ball. Harry Kane rose like a phoenix. Look at that. Above everybody.
Yeah. Wow, what a ball from Longley. What a ball.
Win or lose after this game, I actually think I might start drinking and going to whiskey sours with the old lad. He was on them all yesterday.
Yeah, I might
They
go
look
downstairs.
tasty, Dave. They look tasty.
I might stick a
Yeah,
perf.
they look very tasty.
Yeah,
No!
definitely.
No! Get rid of it! Wait, I need to catch up. I need to make sure I'm on the same sync as you because I
Here.
think that the timing seems to change on these clocks. 1 minute I'm at 5 seconds behind. The next minute I'm 5 seconds ahead.
It is what it is. It's Boxing Day. You know, we'll come New Year's Day, we'll have everything up and running properly. We're just piecing it together for the Christmas period. That's all.
All right, I gotta press pause again.
Welsh Gal, even a nice IPA can't help make this bearable. Maybe the whiskey sour Welsh Gal, you might have to just move on to those. Like
Whiskey
Dave was
sour
saying.
sounds fucking lovely, actually, Dave. To be
Yeah,
honest.
Yeah.
I would say the
It's-
IPA might not do the trick, and it's actually 4 a.m. my time, Welsh Gal, so a little too early for the IPAs, I would say. Maybe about 12 hours from now.
Well, I was making them for the Outland, and I make them a little bit different to the normal. So it's whiskey, it's Jameson, with apple juice, and then like you can use Mickey Finn's or Piranha, but the sour apple flavor. Bit of that in it. Shake it all together over the rocks. Absolutely beautiful.
Rid of it!
No, don't do this.
That's
to me.
okay.
Okay.
Sorry,
I
am looking at both Amazon and the stream you've given me, and they both say the same time, but they're about 6 seconds apart.
That's shocking. That's shocking. Lightwork here, member for 7 months. Flat Cap member. Conte has come here to rebuild. It will take time. We know that he's come here to rebuild, and you know that he did need a rebuild. It's just which manager will this ownership actually give a rebuild to? And are they going to give it to Conte? The signs are suggesting they won't, especially with the contract talks and all that other kind of noise about right now. Tanganga taken off for Sanchez. There it is, everybody. That's what Conte has thought of Tanganga.
One clown being replaced by another.
But yeah,
like
I
the
think
thing is, Tanganga's liable to do the exact same thing. I just hope today we get a decent performance out of him. But the thing is, you just don't know. He's more liable to do what Tanganga done than give us a good performance.
Leighton Evelyn, member for 5 months, fan show member. Big up, Leighton. Good to see you, my man. He says, I told you we would lose over
You say that
this.
every game, though. You said that about the Leeds
That
game
is
and you
true.
were thrown at halftime and we won 3-2.
Can't always be right, Leighton. Can't always be right. I told you we would lose.
Oh, come on, they're going to get hammered. It's Man City. You know, it doesn't matter who we play, says it. Big up, though, Leighton. I hope you had a good Christmas, my man.
We overhyped this side.
Oh.
Fang average, no chance. Top 4 is going to be lucky if we win a game in January. It's going to need transfers in here. And January, sadly, is actually our toughest probably. Oh, Sonny here.
Let's go. Let's go.
He passed it.
Oh, push not pass it, Sonny.
15 minutes.
Let's go, Tottenham. Come on.
Perisic, another long ball in. Doherty wins it.
Jesus, fucking pass it, Sonny.
Get Gill on.
Yes, get Gill on. That's exactly what I want to see right now. Bring on Brian fucking Hill.
He deserves it.
Come on,
Hill, at this moment, though, Leighton, I have no hope in January. I'll tell you that. Unless transfers come in, I'm going to be with you, my man. It's going to be a rough fucking January. It's going to be a rough January with this
I hope
rate.
we get in defender before the Arsenal and the City game.
Appreciate all the support as well for 5 months, Leighton. I know you've been around a lot longer than that, too. Big up, my man.
Get on the fan show next Monday, Leighton. Come on and have a conversation.
Dara with a super chat. Talk about new contract for Dyer. Wake up, Spurs. I mean, this is why you can see why Dave's been so obsessed with this Dyer contract. Exhibit A has been shown today of why it's such a.
Oh, he'll get rewarded. It'll be signed this week, Jack. You know, just reward him for it. Why not?
People always talk about it gets repetitive. It does. I mean, these mistakes from Dyer are getting repetitive. Let's be honest.
We've seen one. We only seen one a few weeks ago against Liverpool. He heads it into like the guy just does his best to make us.
And Man United.
And we pretend to have. We just have the shortest memories as well because we're put through so much trauma by Dyer.
And Newcastle, you're right. Yeah.
There was a
great
game
tackle
in
from Longley.
In Champions League, we went behind because he couldn't control the ball.
Win that! No! Fuck off!
Why did Longley have to win 7 tackles for us there? It felt like Longley is the only one.
Why is Longley on the right-hand side of the pitch?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Sean. He stepped all the way across to win that and then won it 3 more times afterwards. I mean, the guy is basically a one-man defense back there.
Yeah.
And he's got an assist. I will tell you, I will take 3 average Longleys, and this team will look so much better. Just 3 average Longleys is all we need.
Yeah.
It just shows.
I've got no problem with him hanging around for longer, but we need to go.
Well,
and
he
get a
just
couple more
shows
players.
that he's proven, you know, what we actually. He just proves how much worse the other defenders are. With how
Come on, Sonny, do
Shit
something good,
ball.
mate. Do something. What the fuck is that, son? Are you ahead of me again? How is this happening?
Oh, that was on time with us. That felt like it was on
Was
time
it?
with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Daniel
swear,
Larson.
like, one of the clocks is wrong. Yeah, sorry.
All right, Johnny. Adrian Chia, sorry lads, those numpties are not sticking to my script.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
Adrian, I don't
feel
even
bad
know.
for Adrian.
I don't know. There's no point.
Come
in
on,
giving them
Decky.
shit. Just tell them to go out and do what they usually do. Play shit. Good ball. Oh, Perisic, Kane on the ball. Give it out to the left.
Ooh.
Oh, win that. Don't lose it. Well done.
See, it's
Oh
going to
my
be all Tottenham now. It's
Oh
all
my
Tottenham for 20
God,
minutes.
Bonehead, that was such a fucking sketchy pass. Jesus Christ, just play it back. Holy
His
shit.
his confidence is at rock bottom.
Holy
Rock
shit.
bottom.
That would have been
Yeah.
a 2-on-1. That would have been a 2-on-1.
He's actually walking into games now already anticipating
Terrified.
about making a mistake.
Yeah,
Kulu.
confidence is everything. Come on, Kulu. Draw a foul, son. Get us a pen.
Go on, Kulu.
That's it. Whip it.
Højbjerg!
Go!
Oh, it's so exhausting.
Oh,
Oh my God!
Pierre!
And we were on time for that one, boys. We were on the same sync.
Come on, Pierre!
come on.
Woo!
Come on.
Daniel Larson, 8 months. If Conte is dreadful, then it is this club. That is the fault. Fans that think this is going to be with another manager needs to get real. Absolutely love it, Daniel. Bring on Hill Messi, Daniel Larson. I saw you calling out for him earlier. And Daddy Højbjerg has scored as well, Daniel Larson. Daddy Højbjerg, the equalizer.
Yeah, buddy. How many goals has he scored this season now? It's a race between him and Bentancur for the midfielder that contributes the most.
And people still think he's dreadful. People still will call out Højbjerg. Oh,
Let's go,
legendary.
Tottenham. Turn it on now.
Come on, boys.
We're going to get
20
the 3-2.
minutes. 18 minutes here. 18 minutes.
I'll be
If
back
we
in a
win
minute.
this, everybody needs to start talking about that back line. Going into the January transfer, absolutely everybody needs to talk about that back. 2 goals today were completely avoidable. If Dyer didn't make that mistake, we'd be winning 2-1 right now.
THFC till I die. Big up Dermot saying, sorry I'm late to the party. What the fuck has Dyer done again? Hope you all had a great Christmas. January is so important. Conte and Spurs will rise. Let's not give up. Let's just get this 3rd goal here, Dermot. Then we'll move on and talk about rising and, you know, reaching the glory days again, my friend. But seriously, I mean, Dyer has made this a very, very stressful afternoon. Sonny! Oh!
She couldn't get the header right.
That would have been an incredible header if he was going to get that on target. But big up, Dermot. Good to see you in here, my friend.
Kill Messi in now to win the game, Jacko.
He needs to see Hill Messi come on. Adrian Chia, finally they are sticking to the script. Come on, you Spurs. Adrian, they can't be asked to follow the coach's instructions. They can't be asked to follow your script, but maybe they're doing it now. Big up, my friend.
Big up, Adrian.
What a legend. What a legend. Dark Sun G, I said we will be the comeback king. Pierre Højbjerg, Kane aces. He certainly did, Dave. Dark Sun G was holding that optimism. He's holding that positivity, wasn't he?
He was. He, you know, he must be in contact with Adrian Chia with the script, Jacko. You know, it seems like it's going to be the exact same script as the Leeds game. Didn't have time to update it for Christmas, but that's a penalty. That's a penalty. He didn't touch the ball. But big up Dark Sun G, my man. I hope you had a good Christmas. That's got to be a penalty. He didn't touch the football. Surely VAR are going to look at this. He didn't touch the ball.
That's what Matt's trying to say here.
He didn't touch the football at all, the defender.
Well, I mean, the referee would give him a yellow then, if he really thought.
Let's have a look. No, he didn't touch the ball. He's kicked back.
No, he did. No, he kicked it and Doherty fallen over.
Yeah, no, he didn't touch it there.
He didn't touch the ball. He's kicked McDarty.
Give him a yellow for that as well. Give him a yellow for that. Definitely give him a yellow for that. I mean, we've never gotten one VAR decision this whole season, so I really doubt we're going to get one now.
You know what's so weird is that on my Amazon clock it says 74:21, and on yours it says 74:32.
That's shocking. That's shocking.
It slipped by 11 seconds, and we're on exactly the same screen right now.
That's shocking.
15 minutes for Tottenham to go and find the winner now, everybody. Come on. Nah.
Neil Shafton, member for 13 months, elite member as well. Big up, Neil.
Oh, Brentford in behind. That's a penalty.
Oh, that's a pen. That's a pen.
Has he dived?
Oh, he's giving him a dive. He's giving him a dive. Yellow card.
Oh, he knows it as well. He definitely did.
You cheating bastard. You cheating bastard.
Why didn't you give us the pen then, sir?
If this is a pen, then ours should have been a pen. That simple.
No, he's giving a yellow card.
Yeah, he's giving a yellow card to Mbumo.
There's no protest from Mbumo either, so you must know.
You dirty little git.
Let's have a look here. Oh, wow.
That is shocking.
That
is shocking.
To my radius.
You should get a red. You should get a red card for that. You should get a red card for that.
I mean, Dave, he nearly flung his ass in Forster's face. He almost threw himself like a helicopter to Forster there. He just went full plank.
Clemens still wants Conte out.
What a numpty. Neil Shafton, member for 13 months. All that needless posing and moaning in the game wasn't over. Save the wine for the cheese. Come on, you Spurs. Dave, got to save that wine for the cheese. Is the cheese truck coming soon, Dave?
No, Jack. There's debris everywhere. Two of them crashed together.
But Neil, I'll be honest. I mean, if you were composed this whole time, Neil, especially if you're on the same time zone as me right now, I'm honestly going to need to have what you're having, Neil. If it's a tea, if it's like a good, coffee, whatever it may be, Neil, because I must be honest, it's not fun watching this team go 2-0 down at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. I'll tell you that. It's not something that's easy to watch. And let's hope that we can get the third, and then all can be well, and all can be over for the time being. But big up, my man. It's good to see that you kept the composure, Neil. Good to see you kept your composure.
Play it.
Come on, Sonny. Drive, Sonny.
Go, Sonny.
Drive, Sonny.
Pass when you should.
Get Kane back post.
Perisic.
Oh, Nutsberg.
Back post.
Go, Kane.
Perisic, handball. He's
giving
handball.
Handball. No, he's giving offside. He's giving offside.
If this is an offside, that's got
Perisic didn't touch the ball. Perisic didn't do anything. He just came on. What's offside?
Oh, skins him alive there.
What's offside here?
Kane
What's offside? It's not Kane.
No.
Handball.
Perisic has come.
Ref's got that wrong. How's the assistant referee given a yellow offside?
Perisic came from an offside.
From an offside.
He didn't touch the ball though. You can come onto the pitch.
Yeah, you're not allowed to. You aren't allowed to come and take it away from the defender.
He didn't touch the ball.
He might have touched it. If he did, then it is offside.
But there's the winner here for us, though.
There's a winner for somebody, for sure. We're as bad defensively as they are.
They've become us in the second half. They really have.
Yeah, there's definitely a goal here.
They look very rattled right now. Perisic. We also haven't had any pressure on our defenders, so let's not speak too soon here. Like the moment they get pressure again. Doherty.
I don't know whether they've sat back this half or we've just been better on the ball.
It's a combination of both, isn't it? Like it's always the same. And then Conte gets fucking hot, like the plaudits from the commentators saying, "Oh, he's the master of halftime team talks." No. If he's the master of halftime team talks, he's the villain of pre-game team talks.
Wow, well done, Longley. Such composure there from Longley.
Or Sanchez do that ever.
Yeah, you've never exactly right. You would never see Dyer or Sanchez handle that.
Let's go.
Dyer here on the right-hand side. Whips it in. Ooh, good ball though to Perisic.
Let's go, Perry. Do something, son.
Think that.
Come on, Perisic. Oh, that's back.
Oh, it's on the Doherty's head.
He's got. Did he get under that or over that?
No. He got picked off his head. He got picked off.
It kind of like maybe ricocheted or like it kind of deflected off of him. It looked like. But Doherty, I will say, lads, I can't really say that he's had a poor game or really anything. I think, in fact, he's actually combined well. He's shown up at the back post there.
Oh,
He
he
hasn't
was there.
given
It's
it
good
away
defending.
either too much, considering, I mean,
No.
let's be honest, a lot of players have been really sloppy on the ball today. He's not been one of the sloppy ones in possession. I think Doherty can hold his head high for the time being.
For sure.
Boys, how's my volume? Am I screaming and shouting too noisy?
I think you sound great, Sean.
I'm
I think you
okay.
sound good.
Yeah, okay.
Don't worry about that today, Shawnee. We're just throwing this together today. I think we're all a bit still in Christmas mode, so don't worry about that.
Just, the consummate professional.
Jack, get that super chat from Bilal.
Yep.
He said, boys, oh yeah, we got it.
Yeah. Bilal says, boys, I think I'm the problem. All football teams I support are exhausting. Spurs, the Houston Texans, and the Fighting Irish, being the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I don't know, Bilal. It's probably just the type of person you are. You're just out searching for these teams that are a bit of a struggle. You don't want it the easy way, Bilal. You just don't want it the easy way.
Yeah,
there's a bit of nobility in that, though, Bilal, that you always are supporting teams that are a tough, that are a tough watch, that are a tough grind. It builds a lot of character, my friend. It builds a lot of character.
I'm sorry, but I think Sonny needs to come off.
Yeah, he's been shocking.
He's so bad once again. He's always trying to run, dribble. It's like he thinks it's the only thing he's got in his locker now. So he wants to make sure he's proving it to everyone every time he gets the ball. Clever passes. He reminds me a bit of like Richarlison with the over excessive first touch where he's trying to nutmeg people or do back heels. Just do the simple things, mate. Do the simple things.
Or even like you said, like he doesn't exactly have that killer pass or anything right now either to like thread people through or kind of open something up. Like he's giving it away.
What's
like
that?
there.
That's such a bad choice.
It's just Hill Messi, I think, would be the one that would probably create
Bring
something
on
out of
Hill
nothing.
Messi.
Hill Messi has a greater chance of creating something out of nothing than Sonny is.
100%.
Just on a side note, I'm buzzing for Kane to score today because that'll put all
That's fair.
And in the first half, when I wasn't with you boys, I turned the Amazon commentary on, and when he had that free kick, I don't know why he was taking the free kick, but when he took it and he hit it into the wall, you heard the entire Brentford support sing "You Let Your Country Down."
Wow.
And then you hear the Tottenham fans in the background saying he's one of our own.
That's shameful. That's shameful of them.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, mate. It's gonna happen.
I mean, Sean. I mean, they have a blatant. They have a gambling criminal on their team.
I know. But like, the difference between Harry Kane and what happened to Harry Kane in the press and what happened to Saka is Saka was racially abused, Kane wasn't, and
Kulusevski,
so
top of the box. He's so good away from his own goal. He's so good. He just needs to be a striker. He really needs to be a striker because he is. He's honestly every time he has a shot on goal.
Wonder was he a striker growing up? Because you hear a lot of that, like players that played goalkeeper. Or
he never has a bad shot on goal.
And then in the professional league, you end up playing.
Well done. I reckon Koulibaly at Chelsea might have been a striker in his when he was playing in wherever he came
Sanchez,
from.
though, he looks so awkward in front of his own goal, but anytime he's in front of the opposition goal, he looks the exact opposite. In fact, he always has a clean strike. He even at one time, remember, he had that beautiful turn and like a shot across goal in one game. Like he actually, if anything, he behaves more like a striker than a defender.
Yeah.
I will say.
Look, again, Sonny, right? Sonny's slowing things down there. His first thought is, I need to run. I need to think if I can run. He'll do it again now. Look, just fucking make the pass, bro.
I agree.
He's slowing the game down too much.
He doesn't have the vision either, though. He doesn't have the vision to open things up at the moment, too. And that's the issue. I think we need someone like Hill Messi to have a bit more of that vision to help find and create something.
I love Sonny to pieces. I love him to pieces, but what have you done for me lately, bro? Like, it is what it is. And
Harry!
Oh no! It's in the bar! Oh no, Harry! Oh shit! And the counter! Here comes the counter.
Take him down,
Get back,
Basuma.
Basuma!
Well done, Sanchez.
Oh, he's at the bar.
Come on.
He's at the fucking bar, boys.
The winner is here for us. The winner is here.
We need to get Hill Messi on. If you get Hill Messi on, he will whip it into Harry.
Let's go. Yeah, Jack, you're absolutely right, mate. You're absolutely right. Long ball to nowhere.
They don't deal with it too well, though.
Let's go for this. Ramp it up for the next 5-10 minutes.
What a header. Who did that cross come in from? Was it Perry?
Perisic.
Yeah.
Oh, well
Good
done.
step, Longley.
Mm,
Longley's been excellent.
yeah, him and Perisic have been good down that left-hand side. It's where most of our creativity has come from, too.
Fucking
Come
hell.
on, get some pressure on and win this ball back. Kulu's looking tired there. It's lazy
Yeah.
tracking back.
I can't
Dyer,
stand
where
this
are we
this
going?
first half, second half bollocks that we do though. You know, Dave, you know how you like rushed home and just managed to get on board like 1 second
Yeah.
before kickoff?
I
Oh, no!
should-
Oh, no! Oh!
That could be a penalty though if he took him out after the shot.
No, there's no appeals.
Yeah, I shouldn't have. I should have just waited till half time.
Wait until half time, mate. Yeah, you could have walked home. You could have got a nice brisk walk home. Oh, that's not.
Well,
a
no,
pen.
shot
That's not a
already
pen.
gone off the
Yeah.
bar, and then look how close
Off the
Dominic
bar.
is.
Oh, it's good defending after the fact. What a header.
Mm.
Oh,
I thought that was the moment.
That
So
would shut
close
them
to
all
coming
up.
underneath, so close coming underneath the bottom side of the bar as well. Like it didn't hit like the top of the bar. It hit like,
He
it
done
felt like it
so
hit the
well
bottom
to
of the
get him
bar.
up the centre back and the keeper as well. What a
I think
ball!
that I think David Raya might have even gotten a slight deflection on it too.
Was it Longley? I think it was Longley that put that cross in, you know?
If that was, then that's ridiculous
was,
that
give it
he
to
would have
him
had 2 assists. If he would have had 2 assists. Kulusevski here.
Give out to
Basuma.
him again. Look at him creeping forward.
Give it to Longley. Give it to Longley. Skip over Sonny.
Up the ball.
Come on.
Here we go. Here
Whip
we
it
go.
in,
Here we
long
go.
way.
Whip it in, son. Smash it.
Corner
That'll
kick.
do. That'll do. Come on, Perry. Perry, over to you, boy. Number 8 assist of the season in the 87th minute. Let's do it.
Honestly, have Longley whip it in.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. yeah.
Sonny's
Sonny's
standing
doing it.
over
That,
it.
that means we're going near. Here's our predictable. It would probably be near
Yeah,
post.
we're gonna go for
Perisic to
if
flick it
Sonny's
on.
taking it, we're going for a near post. You're right.
This is a VR. This is the thing. You can even see Perisic on the front post already. It's going to be a low
Oh,
front
steer
post one.
post flick on. Someone came at the back.
Oh,
post.
Højbjerg! Lovely Højbjerg.
Yeah, well done, Hodge.
Yes, get it in, Kulu, on your left.
Nice.
Oh, he's
Fine.
so strong. Starting in
Pierre?
the weight room.
Sauceberg, back to Kulu.
Ah,
Wrong option.
clueless.
Corner
Alright,
kick, though,
Pierre.
is it? Still a corner.
No. Is it? Yes, it is. Well
Yeah.
done, Pierre.
Well done, Hodge. Well done, Højbjerg.
Swapping
Ahoy
balls.
there, Bergie.
Swapping balls. I wonder if someone been around there cleaning one for him. Another near
on.
post.
Come on.
Come on, this is here. The winner's here. We're abusing them with balls into the boxes.
Make my Boxing Day. Come on. Otherwise, Bugsy's not getting a second walk.
That's hilarious.
Don't punish Bugsy. Don't punish Bugsy, boys.
The Moon Boots is going to be very upset if Buzzy doesn't get a walk today.
Don't foul him, Dyer. Don't be an idiot. Deal with that, Matt. Well done.
Oh, well done, Matt.
That's person.
Come on, boys. Let's grab this third.
What's he doing
No,
over
it's
there?
Matt, no, that was Matt Doherty, wasn't it? Number
That
2.
wasn't. It was Perisic. He headed it and ran back across the other side.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Love
Left hand
that.
side are just saying, fuck that. We're going over the right hand
Yeah.
side.
Don't. Oh,
Oh, gave it
no!
away there.
Højbjerg, what you done?
Højbjerg, come on,
Oh,
son.
well done. Well done, Sanchez.
Pierre's a little drunk from the last night festivities.
Fair play to Sanchez. He's come on and gone.
PhDs.
Well, I can't be as bad as Eric Dyer. So
Or
it doesn't matter.
Tanganga,
Today I
really.
can play
Like
some ball.
Tanganga somehow was worse than Moonhead. As much as Moonhead gave away 2 goals, like I can't even say if Tanganga was better. Like Tanganga probably deserved to give away one of those. He was that shocking.
Catch that, Sonny. Strength, Sonny. No, pussied out of it. Okay.
Lou
Well done,
Longley.
Longley. Well done, Longley.
Sir!
Oh, Longley! Careful. Well done, Longers.
Hey, let's go. Get everybody up forward. Come on.
Come on now.
Look at Ivan Tony crying. Keep crying.
Shut
Cry
up,
more.
Tony. Go and put 100 quid on it.
He probably has a ban. Probably told his mates.
I bet that wasn't a foul, he says.
yeah. Watch it again.
I'll
I
put
bet you. I bet you.
Let's put 20 on the replay.
Can you imagine the shithousery that would be said to him during the game? I bet you won't react. I bet you won't punch me.
Someone should walk up to him and ask him what's the over-under on us grabbing the third here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Out to Kulu. You've got plenty of time. Get a good ball in.
Come on, Decky.
To Bissouma. Start overloading the box. Get them in there. Sanchez.
Turn Sanchez. Sonny. Okay.
Oh, he does okay.
Doherty.
Gets lucky. Come on, Dockers. Oh!
Come on, get the ball in the box. You've got Kane in there winning headers all day long.
Ethan Pinnock.
Even if we draw this, I look at this as points dropped instead of a point gained.
Yeah. We drew last season, didn't we?
Yeah, 0-0.
Do they play rugby union or rugby league or something at this stadium? Is that why there's those?
Yeah, it's a rugby team that plays. Not sure who.
Maybe it's Wasps or something. Yeah.
Dyer moving the ball forward. Move it quicker. Just pass it, man. Give it to Perry. Give it to Højbjerg.
Could have done that 5 seconds ago.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God.
His confidence is absolutely devastating. We have to.
Useless.
Well, Sean, Sean, what's actually impressive here is that Eric Dyer has yet to even get that new signing in to challenge him. Like he's just making himself to be a clown without even any competition. And Sean, he's going to get picked next game because there literally is no one else. There literally is no one else that can step in.
He will get picked, but let's hope that Romero's back, and then maybe there's an argument for Romero, Longley, and Davies, or Romero, Longley, and Sanchez. Let's go! Let's go, Decky!
Oh, he went down.
He's put it in the right area as well.
Should have gone down. Great pass from Kane.
Long ball. Go for the long. Just keep putting them in the box. Don't take all day either.
Long ball from Perisic. Come on, boys. We've got 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes.
Win this. Make up for your fucking awful game.
Hello, top. No.
Keep it.
Keep it, and then the ball, and he plays on the wing. That sounded like gimme.
Whip it in, Perry. Oh, it's poor. Kulusevski, though.
Let's go, Kulu.
Lovely Kulu.
Come on, Decky. Do it for us, son. I know you've got a winner in you.
Put that in.
Come on. Whip it in, Pierre. Yes, Pierre! Harry!
Oh,
Moonhead.
Corner.
Come on.
Good. He gets be given a corner.
Come on.
Come on, Eric. Come on, Eric. Make up for some of your sins, bro.
Please, Eric. I mean, just get us the winner here.
He's still not forgiven, even if he does.
Well, it won't be quite as bad.
No, it won't. That's true. Get it right.
Ooh.
This fucking near post is so predictable. Who's been knocked out there? Someone's been knocked out on the floor.
It's not the time. Get up.
Højbjerg? No. Perisic? Who is that? Longley.
Get up.
What happened?
Clash your heads. Get up. Now's not the time.
No, he's not happy. He's in pain.
I don't care. Get up. 3 minutes left. Deal with it in the dressing room after.
And he hasn't even touched him on the face.
No. He got a slap in the eye. Big whoop. Get up.
Come on, son.
Oh, no.
Oh, fuck.
It's got a little gash there. Oh, that's bleeding a lot.
He's letting it run as well. He's not even rubbing it. He knows it's bleeding, but he's not even rubbing it.
He won't be allowed to let it run. He'll have to come off.
He might. That's concussion protocol probably as well, sadly.
Shut up, Brentford. Disappointing that Conte once again sticks with a ridiculously poor performance from Sonny over giving the guy that did everything he possibly could against Nice.
The second or first best player over all of our friendlies.
Yeah, really poor.
Ben Davies coming on. Just get Langley off the pitch now. No point wasting time. Get your bottoms off, Davies.
Yeah, this is one of the things that annoys me a little bit. You know, there's
Langley once back on. Someone just make a decision and get this fucking game on their way. Takes time. We're after wasting a minute and a half there.
Yeah, it's not the World Cup anymore where they add on like 94 minutes every 45.
Longley
Fuck,
taking
it
off.
took nearly 2 minutes to get a fucking throw in underway. Who's the Spurs players in his way? Tell him to move off that sideline. Basuma to Salzburg.
Support pass from Basuma into
Well done,
Perisic. Well done,
Perisic.
Perisic. Whips it in.
Hello. Win that.
Well done.
Mop it up. Get out to Kulu. Get out to Kulu. He goes backwards.
Go for your legs, you fucking idiot.
Just give it to Kulu. Move that. Don't run it. Move it.
Oh, no.
Oh!
Did Sonny let that go?
Yeah, Sonny let that
Oh,
go.
my God.
Sonny,
He knows that's not going to make it.
the conversation this week has to be about that man.
Oh, here he is. Kulu.
That's a
Oh.
free.
Sure.
He's been taken out.
Kulusevski into Sonny.
Leave it run.
Oh, Sonny, let it go, Sonny!
Let it go, Sonny.
Let it go, bro.
And all of his shots have been weak, too. All of his shots have been weak.
He's done nothing to help us there. Absolutely nothing.
I'm starting to get a little bit pissed off
Yeah.
with this system.
Why didn't you leave that run for Daddy?
Let it go through. It's good effort, but
That was his best effort today.
it's the only thing he's done all day long. Oh, kick in the back. That's it, I think. Must be it.
Well, if he's going to play the injury, they added on time. No time.
Nah, that's it, guys. That's it. I can already see in the chat that the game's done. Fuck's sake.
What a touch from Moonhead.
Game over.
Conte not happy.
Yeah, I'm not happy with you, Conte. I'm not, bro. I'm not happy with you. I'm losing patience with your persistence in loyalty towards players that are just massively underperforming. I'm losing patience with your setup of shit first half, come at them second half. We said it at halftime, right? I said expect the draw to happen. We're not going to win this game, but we'll probably come away with a point. It's
not good
listen,
enough.
I know people have their loyalties to certain like position people and that. I get it. Conte has his loyalties. Some of the fans will have their loyalties to Conte. Others will have their agendas about Daniel Levy, etc. But ultimately, like you can't leaving that can't do shit all for 6 more days. Let's see what happens in that month. We'll judge him and them on that period. But this is the same old fucking bollocks. It's the same shit as it's been the first half of the season, and I'm really, really frustrated. Harry Kane, well done. Good second half, bro. Your first half was awful, but your second half was...
Yeah, I would say Longley for me. Longley and Perisic, probably some of the 2 best players on the pitch today. I think Doherty actually wasn't bad either. Kulusevski, for me, certainly had a good game. He actually was better in the first half than he really was in the second, if you ask me. But I actually thought that the wingbacks really weren't probably the problem today. The wingbacks actually were, I would say, decent. They weren't great, but they were decent. Especially Perisic towards the end was providing a lot of crosses, a lot of chances for us. Longley was by far the best of the defenders. Almost had 2 assists, or did it nearly have 2 assists practically. So there is that too. But Nick, what are your kind of thoughts on this game? And it's good that we find ourselves 2-0 down. Initially when we spoke to you last time, but now we're 2-2. But I don't know. It's still like when you think about it,
I'm going to be a little less
game.
pessimistic. I'm going to be a little less pessimistic, Jack. Listen, we knew this team was going to be disjointed. We just got off a World Cup. Both our captains were out. Okay, this team has not played together. 45 minutes. I know it's deja vu. It's Groundhog Day all over again. But we know this team can play. I'm leaving the narrative of it has anything to do with Conte talks. What I saw on the pitch today, especially in the first half, Sonny Kane being sluggish, Son's losing balls. That's not because they're worried about Conte. We've seen that before. The Dyer show, that's not because of Conte's talks. That's it. We know where the problems lie. The senior players, the players who we know can do a good job, need a little more time back together on the pitch. That's what I'm taking from it right now, man. I don't think it's gloom and doom. We proved that we can get back in. Both of those goals were very well-worked goals. They were not chance. They were not luck. They were good tactically coming up from the sides, and they were skill was shown by the people who were supposed to have it. Perisic, in general, Højbjerg, not the best game in the world, but he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's in the right place at the right time. He's sloppy too, but he's going to get back into the groove. And
for me, I'm sorry, Nick, I'm going to bring the mood right back down. Look, I don't think it's good enough whatsoever. I don't think it's acceptable. We're a team that's talking about Champions League football. We're also in a position coming into this where we could also go and try and make some sort of push. These are games you have to be winning. You have to be winning these games. And for me, first half, not acceptable. Look, people could say what they want about Conte, understand their frustrations, etc., etc. But it's just like, for me, Dyer doesn't make that stupid error for the second goal. We win that game today. And I keep talking about it. We can't keep making games harder on ourselves. We can't keep giving away mistakes like that, stupid, silly goals like that. That has to be sorted out. For me, now, where I do think Conte should have looked at it today, I would have hauled Son off after 65 minutes.
Yeah.
You done absolutely fuck all, and you give Gill a game who done everything he can the last day to try and get minutes today on the pitch.
I agree.
Well, let me ask you this, though, David. Did you think for a minute, though, that he was going to get taken off? Because I certainly did.
No, but
as
that's
much as we wanted to see, I didn't think he was getting taken off.
He was absolutely all he done for about 65 minutes was lose the ball. Even there near the end, taking a shot when he should have let it run for Doherty, running with the ball, slowing it down when there's passes on. It's just not good enough. I would have brought on Gill. But look, for me, I blame Eric Dyer for today. I put most of it on Eric Dyer. That second mistake is absolutely unforgivable. Whatever about going one down, you still have a chance to go and turn that around. 2-0 is a different question altogether. And that is just absolutely
2-0 is always
didn't cover himself in glory for the first goal. Tanganga selection, brave, didn't work out, cost Conte. Sanchez came in, done all right. Doherty done all right. But for me, today is truly unacceptable. You've got to be taking 3 points from these games. You've got Arsenal coming up. You've got City coming up. It's 2 points dropped. In my opinion, it's not good enough, and we fucking should be seeing better. We should be demanding better. For me, just not good enough. It's saying much of muchness from before the World Cup. One shit half, one good half. You can't keep relying on 45 minutes to go and win a game, to go and save a game. You've got to start learning to play for 90 minutes. I'm not even giving the players the excuse of being tired or anything from the World Cup. These guys go want to play there. Tottenham pay their wages. Come back and put your fucking all in for the fans of Tottenham Hotspur. Didn't happen today. Look, I will say much improved in the second half, but this can't keep continuing this way.
Yeah.
It just can't.
It's a different story when it becomes 2-0. It's an entirely different story. I think you can make a mistake and you can go 1-0 down. Of course, you're going to still be spoken about afterwards and you're going to still be highlighted for it. But let's say you do win 2-1. It is sort of, it's not really all is forgiven, but it's kind of maybe all is forgotten, kind of you could say, when in that sort of scenario. When you do 2-0 down, it's kind of unforgivable, and it also starts to become nearly impossible to come back. We are a bit of the comeback kings, like Dark Sun G has brought up before, but it's becoming exhausting, if you ask me, guys, to be the comeback kings. I'm tired of being the comeback kings. I'm okay, even if anything, if we do go 1-0 down to win 2-1. That is how a lot of games go. That is kind of realistic, to be fair. Like, we are probably a bit silly to think that every single game we're going to expect to go 1-0 up and win it. But we are finding ourselves making 3-0 down comebacks, 2-0 down comebacks way more often than we should this season. It's not really been as much of the 1-0 down comebacks. It's actually been quite often that we go a goal down and then we actually concede another right after before we even can, equalize.
Yeah.
Jerome here saying points dropped. I'm not happy at all. Sean, I'm not sure. Does it feel like points dropped for you today? I feel like it's points dropped for me. I think it's just I'm happy that Nick coming at it from a different angle, but I think it's points dropped for me too.
It depends how you look at it, right? Like as a Tottenham fan, you expect us to win every game. Brentford away is a very, very tough fixture in the calendar. And it's not a fixture that any team looks forward to in the top six. You have to be honest about that. Manchester United got absolutely spanked at Brentford earlier on in the season. It's the worst. It's one of the top 5 worst fixtures you would want on your first game back after a World Cup break, given that of the quality of their team and their squad overall, and the fact that they're playing at home, and the fact that barely any of their players were at World Cup duty. Half of ours were. Like, it was of all of the teams that could have had a fixture, when you factor in the variables, Tottenham away at Brentford on the first game back was a tough one. That said, there's zero excuses in my mind for the first half performance. The second half performance was better. It wasn't great, but it was better. A point. Yeah, look, yeah, it's 2 points. It should have been 2 points dropped. And I think that you're going to, well, listen, I think we have to reserve a little bit of judgment because we haven't seen what the other teams that had many departees.
And Brentford have been a good team this season, and
they're a
they've
great
taken.
team, right?
Yeah.
So I want to wait. I want to hold fire a little bit on my wrath and see how Chelsea do, see how Arsenal do, see how United do, see how City do, see how the teams that had all these absentees as well, if they're playing teams that didn't, then if one of those teams drop points, if they all come out firing and just smash their opposition, then it makes us look really poor. But if they have bad times as well, then maybe it gives a little bit of a respite. I don't know. Right now, I think it's a bit early, but 1 point at the moment is good enough.
I do hear you, Sean, where, look, Brentford away, not an easy game, come back from the World Cup. Yeah, look, there are many factors. But at the end of the day, we've got to look after ourselves, and it's if you can't overcome Brentford away, how do you expect to overcome Manchester away, Man City away, Liverpool away, Chelsea, some of these tougher games away? For me, it's just not good enough. It's points drop. Yeah, Brentford are a tricky team, but you know what they're going to do? Throw long balls in. So all they want to do is just throw long ball after long ball after long ball. We should be able to defend that, get on the ball and play through the pitch and score goals.
Oh, okay, I hear you, but at the same time, you can also, it's not an excuse. Listen, I'm not sitting here making excuses because I'm pissed off like everybody else, but I'm throwing it out there for the purposes of balance.
Yeah,
a devil's advocate, because of the World Cup, Tottenham are without any options on the bench. Like, for whatever reason, Conte, it fucking infuriates me that he sticks with a player that is so fucking far from top form and does everything to make us look bad in Sonny right now. And you've got a player that's done everything he possibly can do to put his hand up and say, give me a fucking chance. And he doesn't get a single minute. Putting that to one side, you've got no Richarlison, you have no Bentancur, you have no Davies, you have no Hugo Lloris, right? You got 4 of your 11 players that would be starting absent absent the other things. And those injuries or reasons why they're not playing. Actually, sorry, Bentancur's a different one because he would have been suspended anyway. So that's maybe a different kettle of fish. But the others, they wouldn't be playing. They would be playing if it hadn't been for the World Cup. There's none of that. There's none of that nuance on the Brentford side. So look, I'm not happy like you guys aren't, but I'm just throwing up some reasons to kind of press pause for a minute and let's see what happens with Man City. Let's see what happens with United, Chelsea, Newcastle, or Arsenal. And if they fuck up as well, then maybe we can reflect on this a little bit differently. If they go and smash their teams, then I think that we have some questions, a lot of serious questions to ask about Conte's preparation.
Because I think if they do go and smack those teams, Sean, then we realize that what they can do is that they can be under similar circumstances like us, those teams, but they can come through with 3 points no matter what. And in our case, we can't exactly say that. But if they don't follow through with 3 points, then we do kind of maybe add some context to the situation. But like you said, if they do end up actually making it quite easy work of it, a lot of these teams that are kind of challenging in this top 4 race with us, that would definitely maybe point out that perhaps there is something maybe deeper. There is something that, doesn't meet the eye at the moment, you could say. I do kind of want to ask, though, Nick. Darkson G says Brentford flopped 3 points. Dyer is continuing to give gifts. Do you feel like Spurs played well enough to get kind of the draw there, or did Brentford kind of flop it and kind of, maybe, I don't know, capitulate? Were Spurs kind of forcing them to make mistakes, or did they kind of just give up the lead, Nick?
Yeah, I think that after the first goal came in, they got a little bit confused as how they were going to go forward because it looked like they were resigned to kind of sitting back in there. I think what worked for them in the first half, though, is what is real scary about Conte, his lack of flexibility going forward is because they just did what every other team has been doing to get that first goal, which is just stay on top of us as much as possible try to confuse us, get to the first ball, make our passing lanes, unfindable. And it's happened over and over again.
Yeah.
So I gave them credit for that. But without a doubt, I think it has a lot to do with them taking their foot off the gas in the second half. That being said, though, man, I'm still not as gloom and doom as I think most of the people out there too, because if you are forced to start a match with a Tanganga next to a Dyer on the right, I mean, you are going to expect to leak goals. That's going to happen. When you saw them on the team sheet, goals were going to happen. That was going to happen. The fact that we were able to get back in there, I'm actually very happy with them. I think it could have been a hell of a lot worse.
I'm starting to think that maybe Spurs did play well enough to probably force Brentford into conceding. And then once they did concede, they actually did look a bit rattled, kind of like you said. They looked a bit confused.
And we were on them right up towards the end. I hate having to play ball like that, but, we were on them right up to the end. There was a goal threat in there right up until the last minute of the game.
It just sucks that we keep getting punched in the mouth first. We would love to deal the first blow. We would love to deal the first blow, and then we could, go about it. Dark Sun G asking here, lads. Cootie, actually says we need to keep Longley after this season. He is good. Yeah. I'm going to ask you each this. Would you buy Longley, Sean? Would you buy Longley if given the chance? The end of the season.
It depends on what we do in the window. Yeah. Like if you can't, if there's any truth to this idea that was floating around that Daniel Levy's made it abundantly clear that he'll do what he can in January, but he's not going to break the policy of buying, he wants to buy young players that don't cost too much. Then if that's the case, then, fuck you, Daniel Levy. But on top of that, if that is the case, then there's players that play in the left-sided centre-back role that are available, that are young, right? That could do that, like an Ndicka. There's players that can play in the middle someone like an Antonio Silva that aren't going to, but if that's also the case, then you can write off the likes of De Vrij or Skriniar. If you go for the young players to fill the gap, they're going to probably play in the areas that Longley are going to be, Longley is going to offer value in. If you don't, if that whole other narrative isn't true, then there may be space for Longley. And for sure, right now, I believe I was right in my early in my summer's kind of appreciation of him, the things he can do with the ball at his feet. I think he's the best centre back that we in terms of form that we have right now. Davies, Dyer, Sanchez, absolutely woeful. Romero's been poor. I think Longley's probably been our centre back of the season. And so for me, there's room, but it really depends on what we do. We haven't got to worry about that until the summer. If the opportunities present themselves in January to buy someone that kind of conflicts with Longley's position, then maybe not. But as of right now, I'd be more than happy for him to be a permanent member of our squad.
Dave, would you buy Longley?
Yeah, what I would do is I would actually go and do both. Even bring in another left-sided centre-back, buy Longley. He's going to be cheap enough. And just sell on Ben Davies at the end of the day, or sell on a Dyer or a Sanchez, move Longley into the middle. We've seen Longley play there against Bournemouth and stuff like that. He can play there. And the thing is, I'm actually got to the point, I've dismissed it before about bringing in a young lad, because if you're bringing a young lad, you're still going to expect mistakes on and off the ball because he's still learning the game and stuff like that. But I've actually got to the point of what I've witnessed today. I genuinely can't do it anymore.
Patience is broken.
I'm bringing somebody, I'm not like, I've seen it time and time again. Even when we don't spend big money and we bring in players that people call rejects, well, they've been much better than what they had in the positions previous. So I'm at the point, just get fucking anybody in here.
Get me another Barcelona reject.
You know what I mean? It's just, I can't do this anymore. But for me, get Longley in and get someone else in, because a good defender, we play a three across the back, but a good defender can play in any system and anywhere across that back line. Even if he's left-footed, if he's good, the same things, it's the same role as on the right. He can fill in there. If he's good, he can fill in the middle. But for me, I can't witness this shit anymore. It's costing us week in, week out. Dyer against Liverpool, United, Newcastle today. There was a game against Frankfurt. The ball rolled under his foot. I mean, I've never seen the likes of it. It's kindergarten. It's childish. Honestly, I'm on the verge of in tears with this guy. I want to walk over there, grab him, and absolutely shit. I'm not even going to say what I want to do to him. I just want to shake him up. I need him to realize, and it's getting to the point now where putting Dyer out there is actually doing everybody more harm than good. It's doing the fans at home harm. It's doing Conte's reputation harm. If the players sitting on the bench is doing them harm, because they're sitting there going, I can't even get ahead of this turnip. You know what I mean? And then you have Dyer walking out there who's already waiting for himself to make the mistake. You know, it's not anybody any good
his
anymore.
confidence is absolutely rock
It's so
bottom.
shot. I also like to say this too, Nick, that Longley, this was his season to repair all of that bad form that he had at Barcelona. In fact, this was sort of kind of a confidence booster of a season, like for him to get back on the right track. And so if you were to buy him, that means then the next season hypothetically could be an even better season for him because he's now like even more comfortable. He's kind of used that season to get back on the right footing, get some confidence back in his game. I sort of am like just desperate for center backs. So I don't know. Would you buy Longley if given the chance?
You know what, man? I think he's done a lot so far to repair his reputation. And I think that he's settled in really well, and it looks like he enjoys playing with the team that he's playing with. I don't think we're keeping him. Would I buy him? I think that there's better, more long-term options there, and I have a feeling that that's part of Conte's ultimatum that he said a while ago. You need to buy me these players, and I will give you a year because they're not available right now. But in the summertime, you need to buy me these players, and if you don't, I'm going to walk. And I don't think Longley's part of that long-term plan. And I think that we heard a few months ago, you know, a lot of people don't talk about it now, but we heard that there was a decision already made by our board that he's going back to Barcelona. So I'm trying not to fall in love with anything he's doing right now. You know? I will say, that being said, he's the only one I've got confidence in.
Maybe if anything, though, he's just proven a point. Longley has proven a point at what sort of level he is basically, and he's a Barcelona reject who's basically using this as a huge confidence booster, as a way to get back on the right track. And the fact that he is the most informed defender, like Sean said, the one that we rely on the most, just says a lot about the other ones. Dark Sun G says,
and I guess to answer your question directly, though, man, is that, I guess so. If we were to put the money in other places, I would be more than happy to spend the very little I think it would cost to sign Langley if we went out and pushed the boat out on a central center back and some quality backup, as well as the right. 100%.
I'm with you there. Dark Sun G, Romero, Longley, and Davies are the back three until we get some January transfers in. I'm with you there, Dark Sun G. I just can't see any more of Dyer, and I can't see any more Tanganga. To be fair to Sanchez, wasn't really all that bad today, but I still don't want to see any more of him. I don't want to see any more of him, but he was actually good today. He was good today.
He was fantastic. Yeah. Sanchez for the win.
But after looking shocking against Motherwell as well as Nice, who knew that he could step in that situation and look good?
We've got a problem with Sanchez as well. He played okay today when he came on. But during in the friendly, he was absolutely dog shit.
He's shocking against Nice.
All of these guys, they're capable of a decent performance at times. But I'm sorry, that does not make up for 5 shit games on the trot. When they come in and put in a good performance, because everybody loves these guys and wants to be so right on these guys. Oh, well, look, he's not as bad as people make out to be. And it's like, well, they just are. They just are. I'm fed up of sitting here. I've been on this bandwagon for fucking 3 years straight with these guys. I'm fed up with it now. I've had enough. I just want to see it rotated. I've got what I wanted in midfield. I've got what I wanted up front. Now give me what I want in the back line. Let's see this fucking club steamroll forward. I'm sick of these absolute clowns holding us back. They literally do their best to concede goals. Dyer wasn't even under any pressure. No pressure. It's just, we can't keep doing it with these guys. Stop, when they come on for 15, 20 minutes, great game. I mean, you'd want to be an absolute shit show to fuck up in 15 minutes on the football pitch to make yourself look that bad. I'm not praising him for a good performance today because he was shit in the friendly. And I know people are going to say, oh, Dave, it's only friendly. I don't care. When you're on the periphery of a team, it's not a friendly to you. You do everything you can to make sure you're in that starting lineup. And that's why he didn't start today, because of the shit he put in.
Very good point, actually. But definitely, that was the reason why Tanganga started ahead. The reason Tanganga started ahead was because he was so shocking in the friendlies. That is a good point.
Tanganga was good against Nice when he played. That's why he got the nod today. Then he lets Conte down. Then Sanchez comes on the bench and makes Conte look like an umpty, even though he was shit last week. You know what I mean? This shit just
none of them are good enough for Premier League football. Right.
That is interesting, though, that Tanganga was rewarded, right, for looking good in the friendlies, and then just
why wasn't Brian Hill? Why wasn't Brian Hill?
I agree.
No, we definitely agree
Yeah.
on that, Johnny. Jacob Anderson, member for 11 months, elite member as well. You absolute legend, Jacob. And he says, Dyer killed us today. Also, when is Son going to finally get going? He is
Let's talk.
nowhere near the player of last season. Thanks for
He's a
all
te-
you guys
he
do.
looks like a 15 million pound. Sorry, sorry, Jack. Sorry.
Thanks for
No,
all you
no,
guys do. Best live streams out there. Love the show. Big up, Jacob, and really appreciate your support, my friend. But it feels like, Sean, right? Like we're going to have to be talking about Sonny next week, or when the
Oh,
debate shows
mate,
come back. He's going to
massively.
have to be on the agenda.
If you were to like have like lived under a rock or on Mars for the last 8 years, and you were to and you came out in August and you just seen
Just
this
started
version of
following
Sonny,
football, sort of
just
thing.
started following football. Sonny is a 15 million pound player.
Yeah.
A 10 million pound player. He slows the ball down. He's got this need to prove that he's doing things that look busy by getting the ball, and he has this first moment of what can I do right now that is going to try and create this. It's almost it's like it's ego, his own ego mixed with his insecurity, mixed with his like desperation to create something.
Yeah.
And in reality, it results in him slowing the ball down, in him not giving the right pass, not stepping over the ball, letting it go through. And ultimately, he's become predictable. His first touch is back to what it was 2 years ago. Like I was saying this a long, long time ago. Actually, maybe before I was even on the streams, but he used to be the guy who always would cut in, and defenders didn't know that he would do that. And he would always cut in and whip the ball in with his right foot. Then he got predictable. Then he started to like mix it up a little bit, come on the right, cut in with his left, or come down on the byline. And anyway, now he's going back to route one, back to square one, and players know what he's going to do. Yeah. He puts the ball, he touches it with his right foot, and the right backs or the centre backs, they just show him down the byline, but he never takes it. And it slows the entire process down. The guy is like, I love him and I want him to figure it out, but it's costing us. It's costing us so many potential opportunities with the way that
it's costing us keeping him on the pitch for 90 minutes too, because when we have 100%. Someone else that can come in and make a difference. And that's if we had the issue that we had with the defenders right now up front, where we really just are picking between absolute dross and just dead weight of players, you sort of would understand that he's just going to stick with Sonny for 90 minutes. But he does have an informed Brian Hill, and he has a very hungry Brian Hill to bring on, and also probably a Brian Hill that would be happy to show Sonny exactly maybe what's been missing, in the game as well, because they play a very different type of game. Sonny is obviously a whole lot more kind of maybe goal focused, trying to get in behind and be that kind of marksman, whereas Hill Messi is a bit more of that creator. He's a bit more of that guy that just wants to kind of get the team going and kind of get the flow of kind of the patterns of play kind of up again. And they're just different players, which is also a bit disappointing as well. It's not like you're putting on like for like type player. You're actually putting on a very different type of creative sort of engine in Hill Messi. And it was disappointing to see him not given that chance. That's right, Sean. I agree. And I think we're going to have to talk about him this week, Sonny.
I'll add to that as well. I'll add to what the two of you said. Now, look, first of all, I want to say, I know there's a big core of people out there behind Son, and by no means are we sitting here tearing them down.
We love him. We love him.
I actually believe when we talk about Sonny and his poor performance, we should do it with respect because of the service he's given us, unlike some of them other clowns at the back line, which I refuse to give them any respect. They're not getting any. But Sonny, I will actually critique him with a bit of respect because of the service and the performance I've seen that guy put in the Tottenham jersey. But what I'll add to you two guys, I'm going to start with what Shawnee said, and then I'm going to kind of finish off with what Jack said. So, Sean, with Son, not only were we talking about, being predictable, but a lot of times this year, players are getting up behind him. He's back to goal. And he hasn't learned how to hold up the ball yet. They just get up behind him, put a bit of pressure on him, and the ball's bouncing off from left, right, and center. He's too weak. He needs to learn to be able to hold that ball up. He keeps getting caught like that and keeps giving the ball away. And then to what Jack was saying, I would maybe ask a question out there and probably let Nick on it, and then you guys come in on it, is because Son's been so bad this year, is that why Gil looked so good the other day? Because when you look at Gil, and Sean mentioned this during the game as well, with Sonny, he wants all these touches, whereas Gil knows, and we've seen it against last week, get the ball, he knows when to pass, he knows when to run with it. He can also hold it up with his back to play and go backwards with the ball and pick a pass if he needs to do it. Whereas I think Son knows that he's been in bad form. He's trying to recapture it and probably be doing too much. But look, I do think we have to have a serious conversation about Son. I hold my hands up. I think I've got it wrong. You know, I went by the same logic I went with Harry Kane, but look, world class, it'll always show itself. Form is temporary, class is permanent, and he'll get through it and come out the other end. But I just don't see any sort of progression in that whatsoever.
Nick, what would you say? Are you kind of worried about Sonny right now? Is this like, do you kind of agree? Like, it's just something that's going to have to be spoken about, for, until the next game, really. Like, he's just not the same.
If anybody with that kind of quality is not firing, there's always going to be questions asked. There's questions asked about Harry Kane when it's the same thing. I don't think that you drop Sonny. I mean, if it's me, I have a different perspective than most professionals out there, is that I would start a Brian Hill, and then I would see if it's necessary to bring on Son. In fact, I don't think Brian Hill can go a full 90 minutes.
Probably.
If
I like that.
It's a league of nepotism in a lot of ways, in that you gotta cater to your big egos and the superstars. So I don't think we're going to see a change like that. However, I think we got to give Son a little leeway. He's had flashes of the player he was last season, and he and Hill are not expected to do the same thing on the pitch.
Once he's had it, really. Once, right, Nick? He had it in the Leicester game when he came off.
Leicester match. You know what? Honestly,
he came off the bench for that game. So what's wrong with doing that again?
Yeah, absolutely. But there were other matches where he was not as bad as people have made him out to be, in my opinion. But that's aside the point. I don't think that Hill can have this. Even a good Hill can have the same impact as a decent Sonny will in the final third if he's firing. But I still think that it gives us flexibility and more of an option.
We haven't seen it though, mate. We haven't seen it, Nick. I understand what you're
very true
from, but the guy has never been given he's been given minutes last season before last, or last season in the Conference League, whatever it was, right, when he was playing against shit teams where absolutely nobody turned up, and it's difficult for a forward man to be able to kind of create magic when the entire team are on the back foot against like Slovenian farmers. But in competitive games, in the big moments, in the big games, how many times has Brian Hill had more than 90 seconds at the end of a match? How many minutes has he had when it's against in a Premier League game from the start or from the 60th minute?
I can't even come up with one. I can't even come up with one. And what that comes down to is obviously Conte doesn't trust him in the big matches. And it's too bad. The same thing. We're going through the same cycle with any number of players right now. Jed Spence.
And people say you got to trust Conte. You've got to trust Conte. Yet they are the same people that are saying trust Conte when it comes to not giving any support for Brian Hill not getting any minutes. They're the same people that are saying free Spence. Free Spence. So those people's opinions are relevant when it comes to like Emerson Royale's not good enough. Conte's losing his fucking mind when he continues to play that guy. Free Jez Spence. So they're all about that motif. They're all about that agenda, but they don't want to give Brian Hill the same logic because, I know what it's down to. It's because they trust that Sonny is a superstar.
Well, because they wrote off the Brian Hill transfer. That's why. It's because they wrote off the Brian Hill transfer, and the Brian Hill transfer is one of the most criticized transfers in history, and a lot of people would never dare take back probably words that they've maybe said about that transfer.
And that's fair enough. But on top of that, also you're asking them to when it comes to Jez Spence, it's easy to criticize Conte, and it's difficult to criticize Sonny, right? But when it comes to it's difficult to criticize Emerson. It's easy to criticize Emerson Royale for favor of Jez Spence, but it's difficult to criticize Sonny in favor of Brian Hill. But this season, Sonny's been woeful. Emerson Royale's been woeful, and yet Conte won't play Jez Spence. The thing is, why do you have trust in Conte's decision making when it comes to Sonny, but not when it comes to Emerson Royale?
And the thing is, to everybody out there, we're not sitting here saying Gil Messi is the answer. But what we're saying is we would like to try and know that answer. So we would like to try it because Son just isn't performing right now. But look, I do think Son's game has changed a little bit as well. Like last year, how many goals did he get from being the direct runner in behind, ball fed in? This year, that role has changed a little bit. He's had to start learning to hold up the ball, this, that, and the other. And it is taken away from his game. He's been asked to do essentially what Harry Kane's doing, but without the frame, without the height, without the strength. So his game has changed a little, but a world-class player adapts. Harry Kane used to do all the running and behind and scoring goals. He's learned to adapt, hold up the ball, get on the ball, get turns, spray passes. Son also has to go down that same route. He has to learn to do it because right now it's costing us and it can't keep going forward. You're effectively playing, well, with Dyer and that, you're practically effectively playing with 9 players, you know? And I just want Son to come out. I just want Son to come out the other end of it because he's a terrific player. He's given us great memories. And I just hope he can get it together. He can start to learn to hold up the ball. I don't know whether they're working on that with him in training, that when balls are being fired into him and he's, you know, get someone up his ass like a fucking big clump Dyer who's going to foul him every minute, get him up his ass. Someone will soon learn to hold it up that way. But I think they need to work on that with Sonny. Or Sonny needs to work on it, get his father out, get him out there working on it with him because right now it's killing him. Because even
or
when
let him go,
do something good, all
Dave
people remembers the amount of times he's lost it.
Or I know it's a very and I'm sure we'll talk about this week with you guys. I'm sure there's lots to talk about, but like there is a conversation. Like all the top clubs at some point say, okay, now's the right time. Like a lot of Liverpool fans would have absolutely gone ballistic when it came to selling. Who's the guy who went to Aston Villa recently? What's his name? I forget his name off the top of my head.
Coutinho,
right? When they sold him for 150 million pound, I'm sure a lot of Liverpool fans went, "What the fuck are you doing?" Right? But Tottenham have this history of hanging on to players, hanging on to the asset, and winding it down in value. There is a time where you could sell the player. I'm not suggesting that I love Sonny, right? So I hope no one takes this. We all love Sonny. I absolutely adore him. I want him to get back to full fitness. But if there's something's changed in his life or in his confidence or in his mindset where, you know, he's just not doing it, then you've still got an 80, 90 million pound. He's got a long contract. You can still get 80, 90, 100 million quid for that guy.
No.
At some point, his best skills are going to, and he's someone who relies on his pace. Like as people age into their 30s,
there's that too.
There's the degradation of the skill of having pace fades faster when you hit your 30s than it does a player that doesn't rely on their pace.
It's very true.
So I'm not saying it's time to sell him, but I'm saying like at the very least we shouldn't just look at him and think we're gonna have to just continue to bang our heads against the brick wall here because of what he did 2 years ago.
We're gonna have to be. It's sad as it is. We're just gonna have to be talking about Sonny this week, everybody. Dark Sun G says this season so far, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg has been saving our skin for top 4. He's done whatever it takes in order to get the equalizers. He also even just the other day, I think Spurs showed that winner that he of course got us into the Champions League. I was honestly crying watching it, just seeing the Viking. You know, I just got reminded, you know, that he sent us into the Champions League. It's by far probably his best ever season. I think as a player, his best ever season in his whole career, Dark Sun G, and it's really beautiful to see for all the Højbjerg lovers out there. Dark Sun G also writes here, my opinion is that 1 point was gained today because they beat Man U and City. We did talk about this in the beginning that it is like Brentford are good. Like they have actually taken a lot of scalps this season, lads.
Yeah. And Ivan Toney he's their best player, and he was also on absolute point today. It was going to be very interesting to me to see how, like, we were looking at Harry Kane coming back from the World Cup where he made, you know, like he was going to be on the receiving end of some noise. I didn't hear in the first 45 minutes when I was listening onto the commentary, I didn't hear the Tottenham fans really singing many songs. Maybe I'm wrong about that, about Ivan Toney giving him pressure, but he was absolutely phenomenal today. He devastated us in the air, right? And so you have to, like, if a very good team's best player is playing tip top, then I think you have to sometimes shake hands with that and think that it wasn't just Tottenham played really badly in the first half, but actually Brentford did their best. You know?
Dark Sun G saying that Chelsea play Bournemouth today and Villa versus Liverpool and then Gooners versus West Ham. We'll see how they handle because, like Sean brought up earlier, Dark Sun G, if they maybe capitulate and they actually fall apart, and let's say they drop points, probably adds a bit of context to this whole kind of a day and makes us think about it a bit different. If they actually end up making quite easy work of those teams, definitely makes this sort of a result a whole lot harder to deal with and maybe harder to understand. And in fact, it probably starts to look more like points dropped. Dermot here with a super chat. The likes of Dyer will let you down all the time. We need to improve big time. But Sean is right. We do have to see what other teams do. Happy New Year. Another kind of people, Nick, just quickly, what would you say to that? Do you agree with Sean that you kind of want to see maybe how the other games go today before you really sort of see it as points dropped?
I do, because everything, there's context to everything, man. But that being said, other teams have their own individual problems. I mean,
Hmm.
our team has its own problems, and I'm kind of trying to take that in an insular sense. I mean, it's football; anything could happen. West Ham could beat Arsenal. That's a
Yo,
possibility. They're weak. Is that going to necessarily because of their World Cup woes, and just because they played crap today? If that happens, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not so much worried about the other results personally. I'm hoping they go. All of the teams around us fuck up, and a point is good for us at the end of the day. But I'm more concerned about what's going to happen in the next two games. Is Sun's form going to turn around? Because we've got problems that are not external; they're internal problems that need to be solved.
Yeah, yeah, definitely,
Hey, that
definitely.
being said, real quick, man, are we going for a man of the match here? Is there even a
I,
point?
I don't think there is a point. I don't think there is a point
Yeah.
in this case. I think
I mean,
it's
is it Hoiberg for the goal? Is it
you'd
Kane
be
for the
more looking
goal?
for people that ruin the match. I think Nick is probably what you'd be going for
Yeah,
in that case.
a lot easier to come with.
Yeah, definitely a lot easier. But I actually have to kind of apologize to everybody. I did miss actually some of the super chats. I kind of got lost with them in the queue. But Dermot, I think when it comes to these games today, brother, I hope that we don't have to look at them as points dropped, and maybe the rest of these games can tell us, that perhaps the other teams are struggling just as much. But I don't know. Dave, any help maybe there? The next one I have is Elias's, but I know there are a lot more.
okay, so there's
that I
Dark
missed.
Sun G before that. He says Blues also drew against Brentford, didn't they?
Yeah.
Is that Chelsea maybe? Or
Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea. Did Chelsea draw against the Brentford? I did not know, but I think if anything, Brentford this season, Darks and G probably taken the most scalps out of any side. In fact, they've had a pretty tough schedule too, and I remember they've put up some good games this season.
look,
Brentford.
fair play to Brentford for the scouts they've took and everything else. But at the end of the day, I don't really give a shit about that. I care about what we do. And for me, on paper, that should be 3 points. It really should be. I don't care about the scouts they've caused. If we could just learn to defend properly, we would have bet them today. It's that simple. It wasn't so long we were beating them convincingly in a Carabao Cup semi-final. And bet them away and home. Now we're talking about it being a tough place to go. Probably shows great strides that they've made, but also probably goes to show that we probably haven't really made much strides, to be honest with you. But big up Dark Sun G. Then we've got Hollywood Hotspur. He says, boys, maybe moon boots. Give me a second. This doesn't fully come up here.
I'll tell you what, boys. Let me take that little moment to say I've got to go, guys. I've got dinner downstairs.
Thank you, Shawnee.
So,
Thanks for coming on.
love
my
you.
friend.
Love you and leave you all. Have a wonderful Boxing Day, and come on, you Spurs.
Big
Come
up,
on,
Shawnee.
Spurs.
Shawnee, go and enjoy
Good to see you,
yourself
Shawnee.
during the
See you
week.
guys.
Talk to you later, man.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Catch you soon, Shawnee.
So Hollywood Hotspur says, boys, maybe moon boots. Valleys could be a blessing in disguise. Perhaps this will motivate Levy to actually spend on a centre back in January now? Question mark. Look, I'll start off with this one. I mean, I would like to say I think so, but I mean, some of the performances that he's been put in for the last 8-9 years, I would have thought would have been key to sell him. But then here we are talking about him potentially getting a new contract. I think they like to keep him around. He's probably a good guy. They're probably friends with him 8-9 years. You really get to know somebody, this, that, and the other. But for me, you got to cut through all that shit. Football is ruthless. If you want to win trophies, you've got to be ruthless. Nice guy, whatever else, but just not good enough. Get out. Hopefully you do well wherever else you go. Get the next guy in that's better than him. It's just the way the business is, and for me, like I said, I'd like to teach so, but the fact that he's still here 8 years later, and I mean, I could probably count on my two hands, the amount of good performances that guy's put in. Now, if that's good enough over 10 years, then this football club is in a fucking even worse state than what I imagined.
For me, I feel like it's nice to be seeing Hollywood Hotspur Dave start to kind of see his patience broken with these center backs. He finally admitted he wants to see just any center back come in, whether it be a young center back. He's just lost all patience, and so I think that's maybe what Daniel Levy has probably done today too, is just realized, you know what, I can't really, I can't get by anymore with these
I
guys.
just
I need to make investment this January. So it's probably just been a bit of a realization for Daniel Levy too, that he just needs to, he can't ignore this defense any longer. But knowing Daniel Levy, you can't say that with confidence that he's thinking that right now.
especially with the
No,
new
we've seen it before in other circumstances too. I mean, look at how long it took us to get a backup for Harry Kane. We went through that whole saga, which arguably we're still kind of in. The problems becoming glaringly obvious is not necessarily cause for Levy or the board to make positive motions in that direction. Never is. However, I think it's pretty much wide open, and from the management standpoint, that is our weakest point at the moment. So I have to believe that moves are being made. That solving that problem is at the top of the list. We'll see what happens, though, man.
I just want to pull something up, Jack, before you get on to Elias, and I think Elias is the last one there. And I have my own words for Elias as well. But Talal, I just want to say, look, I get we're all frustrated with the result and what's going on with the club, this, that, and the other. But by sitting here calling each other muppets, this, that, and the other, it's what the club want. It's what they want. Us arguing over this and stuff like that. We none of us are in a position to affect things at board level, or anything like that. All we are is giving our own opinions. I'm all for debate, but let's try and be respectful about it. If you disagree with them, no problem. Disagree with them in the chat, my man. Like it's not a dictatorship. We love seeing everybody's opinions. That's why we run fan shows and everything else. Let's not get dragged down and being like other teams. Let's set the standard. Let's set the tone. Disagree with people, fine. Let them know why you disagree with them. Let's stop all this extra stuff that comes with it.
Yeah. Elias here with the super chat here, and he says, in Hollywood Hotspur, I apologize for missing that one earlier, my man. I just got lost in the queue there. Elias Christian, I have concerns as it comes to the passion I used to see in Conte previously. It's not that it's not the same Conte I used to see. He looks demotivated, and it's Levy too. Doesn't look the same.
I mean, isn't that what
look
we
the
say
same.
about every manager? Isn't that what we say about every manager after the
We've
first
killed
year?
we've killed his energy. We've killed his spirit. We've killed his soul.
Jack, I wonder if there's a lot of issues in deflection tactics here to move out the conversation away from someone like Dyer, because this guy talks about Dyer 24/7. The group chat came on the fan show talking about Dyer. Now, I don't know. I think it's deflection tactics personally. I do.
It could definitely be deflection tactics. At the same time, though, I agree though that he looks very different man. He probably has had his spirit taken away. He probably has had his energy taken away. He's probably just been entirely sort of I don't know, devoid of sort of optimism any further kind of with these boys. He's made huge efforts in getting the best out of Moon Boots, getting the best out of other players. And he's now just kind of seeing it all kind of get shoved back in his face. And he's probably just sort of kind of demotivated, if not kind of lost a bit of hope. I kind of agree with Elias that he doesn't maybe look the same. He does kind of maybe look like he's lost a bit of that fight, a bit of that energy. And it's probably just because players like Moon Boots, Elias, have taken it away from him. They completely have sucked all the energy out of him, if you ask me. But I don't know, Nick, what do you think?
You know what, man? I think I heard Elias's voice message on WhatsApp today, singing the Dyer song. So I got to believe it is a little bit of deflection there, man. I had it from his body language. I kind of felt like Conte was resigned to the fact that he was not going to be happy at this game, at least within the first 20 minutes. He had a look on his face like, right, this is what I thought, hopefully it doesn't get worse. And by the end of the match, it's the same way he looked. He just didn't have a whole bunch of confidence. I'm hoping that it's because he knows where his weaknesses are, and he's going to be able to solve them at some point in time. If I can, though, man, I want to respond to United Spurs of America chat. Fans need to chant out Dyer next match. I mean, but what's that going to accomplish, though, is the question. We know that his confidence is completely shot. We saw that, him shooting balls out for opposition corners twice, in fact, today, I believe. what's it gonna, if you bring his confidence down more, how is that gonna help? Because right now we do not have any alternative to sit in the center there and fill out a back three in Conte's formation. I mean, if we had somebody sitting in the background that wasn't being played, if it was a Hill or a Jed Spence situation and there was somebody right behind him, I mean, God, yeah, I think that he wouldn't be able to get into the stadium, let alone have the fans chanting him out. But we have no other options right now, man. I guess we got to get behind him until there is another option.
I just want to come in on two things. I do want to comment on Elias Super Chat, but Talal Fairness, he put in a comment there, and he's saying we want our club back. But, man, we all want it. Even if people see things a little bit differently, everyone wants Tottenham Hotspur to go and win trophies, to play this sexy on the front foot football. So let's not get that mixed up, my man. I completely get what you're saying, but everyone wants it back, Everybody, we're all in the same boat here, brother. Every single one of us. All we do is pay for the subscriptions, the jerseys, the TVs, to watch for the games and everything else. We're all in the same boat, brother, all in it. But I just want to touch on Antonio Conte. I'm sick of us Spurs fans turning around going, this manager's a dinosaur, that manager's a dinosaur. And it only happens when they come here. We all scream and shout for these managers to be put in place. It shows ambition, etc., etc., etc. Results fall off a cliff, and we start talking about them being dinosaurs, losing passion for the game, blah, 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 blah. But then when you go to talk about a Dyer or a Sanchez, who are actually costing us the points on the pitch, they get defended, they get this, they get everything else, It just absolutely boggles my mind. Let's start dealing with some of the real issues. Let's start with on the football pitch. Replace Dyer, Sanchez, Tanganga. Get in a back line that's worthy. Matt Doherty done all right today, but get rid of him. Get rid of Emerson. Get someone else in that's worthy. Stop persisting with Ryan Fraudalong on the left-hand side. Get rid of him. Bring Adoji in earlier. You know what I mean? It's just like, let's stop always going for the manager's throat. These are the same guys that performed last season, by the way. But no one will talk about it. How comes they can perform last season, but they're not doing it this season? Same guys, same manager. It's just absolutely baffling. And people are going to say, oh, well, was the transfer window really as good as it was? But they won't talk about Dyer with the drop-off in form from last season, Sanchez with a complete drop-off in form. Davies been all right this season, but has even dropped off on his levels from last year.
Yeah.
We got to start talking about this. And then you get the others who are going, oh, but I'm sick of talking about Dyer, but so am I. I'm fed up with it. I know I bring it up all the time, but I'm fucking fed up with it. And that's why these guys have to go. Let's start dealing with the real issues and stop fluffing about with the transfer window and the manager. Get the players gone. If they don't want to go, let's all put the pressure on the owners. Get them fucking out. Let's back the manager. He's not going anywhere. You get rid of him, you're going to hear from us all. But at some stage, the fans are going to have to unite behind a manager. We have to do what Arsenal have done. They said they backed the Aubameyang before with previous managers. Then you can only do it for so long. They sat there under Arteta. No, he's our guy. You want to act a prick, you're out. Oh, you want to follow? Goodbye. And that sends out a statement to everybody else. That manager is here for good. You fucking do what he wants you to do. You put your performances in every single minute you get on that pitch. You go into training, you train hard. You do everything what that manager says. But when we have players here who consistently do okay, then see a consistent drop-off in form every time, manager carries the can, it's the same thing, rinse and repeat. This cycle has to fucking stop somewhere. Look, I'm not saying Conte, I'm not sitting here saying Conte's got absolutely everything right. He hasn't. But if not Conte, it's going to be a project manager that no one's really going to be happy with because it doesn't show ambition. People don't want to see a project. I don't want to see another project. I want to believe in a manager that I can go into every season, believing that, yes, we do well, there's an outside chance this guy is going to deliver this trophy. Not a project manager where I'm looking at trophies 4 or 5 years in the horizon. I can't do that, So for me, let's stop fluffing about with, oh, the players really is good that we brought in. Was the transfer window really is good? Oh, Conte this, Conte that. I get you can question Conte on things today. Why not give Gil the opportunity after playing so well during the week with Sonny not performing so well today, etc. There are little things like that you can do. But my God, can we just please start talking about these players? Even the people that talk about Conte, you bring up the defense. Yeah, we know that, but Conte, All you're doing is just brushing over it. Let's actually sit there, highlight the fucking things, show them up for what they are. And and people are going to say, yeah, Dave, they're human beings. I get it. But you're the one that's being paid exorbitant amount of money to perform on telly. So with that comes the slack, especially when you make whole profiles errors like that in front of fans that I believe in Spurs fans are some of the most passionate in world football. You know, at the end of the day, we're not going to get change unless we keep highlighting how bad this is. Like for me, why don't we keep Conte, get rid of them defenders, and if the same shit keeps persisting after that, then you have your definitive answer. It's the tactics. It's the way Conte plays. But you can't definitively say that right now. It's only guess because these players have been here and done it longer than Antonio Conte has. So right now it's a guess. We said the same under Jose. No, it's Jose. It's Jose. Back these guys. Well, look what happened. They got him sacked. We got in Nuno. Did they perform? No, it got worse. We're in the Europa Conference League. You know, we can't keep doing this cycle, man. I'm fed up with it. Absolutely fed up.
I think we'll just leave it there, everybody. I wish it was a better holidays. I wish it was a better result to be talking about. I wish wish we just had a better start and a better restart to this Premier League. But we find ourselves in yet again a tricky situation. It does feel like points drop to me right now, and we're going to see how these other games go, and we'll go from there. Definitely some debate shows and plenty of things to be talking about this week, fan shows and all that good stuff as well. That will be coming up for you to have your say. Just stick with us here, everybody, and we'll be coming out with plenty of content to kind of discuss the future of Spurs, as well as also that looming January transfer window where a lot of these problems definitely can be fixed over there. Nick, any kind of final words here for the Harris Army?
You know, everybody don't go just jumping right into the bottle unless that's what you were going to do anyway. And if that's what you're going to do, enjoy yourself. I think we have players to get back in that make this team look a hell of a lot better. We've got a little bit of time between now and with Villa where Conte can kind of sort things out a bit. I think we're going to see a more gelled team coming together soon. You know, it's just not as gloom and doom as I think it is. Although we still, the looming dark cloud is the dire defense issue. And it's just nobody's going to feel safe until that's solved. But until then, it'll be a bumpy ride, and there'll be a little bit of excitement going on. Man, that's all I got to say about it.
Cool, sexy football. Worried the Deadwood out there, especially on loan, will stop us signing anyone real class unless Levy cuts them loose. The Dom Paratici, it's over to you. Come on, you Spurs. The Deadwood really have just prevented us from being able to buy players right away. The issue is that in order to bring in a center back, we have to sign we have to get rid of the likes of Sanchez, Dyer, and Tanganga in order to bring in as many center backs as we want. In order to bring in new right wing backs, we have to get rid of Emerson, Doherty, or Spence, any one of those three. I think we find ourselves yet again in a tricky scenario where we have to also get rid of players in order to bring in the new players. Hence why they're kind of called Deadwood, is because Deadwood isn't just something that you can live with. You have to get rid of it. You have to ship it on in order to bring in new material into the team. And it's just find ourselves yet again in that situation. It's deeply frustrating, Kulusevski, because I feel like Paratici, when I really look at it, I mean, how many players has this guy already gotten rid of? Like 12, 13, 14, 15 in the time that he's been here? He's barely even been here a year and a half, and he's gotten rid of over 10,
he's got rid of an entire squad.
He's gotten rid of an entire squad of players from the previous directors of football, which just shows that the Deadwood, he's chipping away at it, but it just keeps piling up. And it's not from his signings. Very few of his signings have turned out to be Deadwood. It's still all the previous signings from the Hitchin era. Even one of his Hill Messi signings, the signing that everybody loved to rip on, a lot of people are on the Hill Messi, kind of hype now. It just shows that Paratici, not only does he have a tough job in January and bringing in players, but he's also got to get rid of these players. And it's, I don't know, for me, I just feel bad for the guy. I feel bad for the guy.
100%. Couldn't agree more with you, my man. And I just want to end off as well on big up Kulusevski football, my man. He actually played well today. Fair play to him. Puts it in every time he takes that pitch. I wish I could say the same about others. But I want to end off as well. We've also had another thing that I've seen over the last years. Oh, Jose Mourinho is a checkbook manager. Conte is a checkbook manager. Well, that's what people want, right? Managers come in here that's going to spend money. But second of all, Any manager that comes in here is going to need a checkbook to fucking improve on them players. You know, we keep going checkbook manager. So what's the definition of a checkbook manager? Someone that just doesn't use what's in his squad. He goes out and signs what he needs, right? Grand. But name me what manager has come in here over the last few years. Even Pochettino, who you would argue wasn't a checkbook manager. He didn't get anything out of Dyer. He was always backup. Didn't get anything out of Davies, backup. Didn't get anything out of Sanchez, backup. So let's stop pretending going forward that another manager's going to come in and get better out of these guys. Right now, where we're at, we have to demand to keep Conte, whether people like him or not. And I urge people, even if you want him out, just listen and just go with me. Demand he stays. Get rid of these guys, because it means even if Conte goes in future, the next manager actually has proper defenders to work with, so that no matter who comes in here, then there's a succession plan going forward, and we can go and win games without having to score 2, 3, 4 goals every single week, because we're already going in 2-3-0 down. Can't keep continuing. So we just gotta, you know, I'm not taking this thing aimed at Conte as a checkbook manager. Absolute horseshit. You know, at the end of the day, any manager that comes in here, if they're worth their salt, will want these guys replaced. Simple as.
I don't know if you just think that any manager should be getting tunes out of Dyer, Sanchez, Tanganga. Like, best of luck to you if you think that a manager can get, you know, a miracle out of those. He's actually, funny enough, sort of produced miracles with those guys in the past, but basically they've just reached their expiration date, I think, with them. But I believe we're going to leave it there, everybody. Hit that like button on your way out, and like I said, plenty of content is always coming out up on the channel to reflect on it. Not the norm. Yeah, Dave.
I just want to say there won't be any content tomorrow. I've got a few things I need to put together and stuff like that. I'll tell you after, but there won't be any content tomorrow because I'll be concentration. But
it's also still the holidays, so we're not gonna do the fan show or the post-match fan show like we usually do, and things like that, just because it is still the holidays and whatnot. Despite maybe the vibe is, it is still the holidays at this moment in time. But everybody, like I said, enjoy the rest of your holidays. Hit that like button on your way out, and we will be seeing you.